Hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. There should be audio. I have the chat up on screen. We got Connor in here. What's up, Connor? No Escape Gaming. Thank you for becoming a Talks Game supporter. I want to do more with that membership in 2026, so you're joining at a good time. We got Adi, Dampar, Braden, Greek the Geek. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Chance? Nebula Storm. Welcome to the stream. I want to start streaming more. The year's coming to a close. I thought it'd be fun to look back at basically all of the major events from Nintendo in 2025, game releases, directs, any other news stories, kind of just recap the entire year, talk about it, but also I thought it'd be fun to rank all of the games that came out this year. I definitely have some strong opinions on the games that Nintendo came out with this year versus a lot of other people, but that's kind of the fun of it. Yeah, Sean Griffey, I'm doing it. I'm talking games. So thank you all for joining the stream. We got 22 people in here. That's good. That's good. Like I said at the top, I want to start streaming more. So 2026, expect more streams. Unless this goes horribly wrong and then I never stream again. How we all doing tonight? I was supposed to stream on Wednesday, I think. And then I remembered that I had tickets booked for Avatar Fire and Ash, and me and Olivia had not seen Way of Water. So I canceled the stream to watch Way of Water for the first time because that's like a 3-hour movie, and I was like, okay, I need to cancel the stream. I need to watch Way of Water so we can actually go see Fire and Ash. But we're back. We made it. Looking forward to streams in the future. Some COD gameplay. Adi, I literally, like, I was testing the stream setup. I have my PS5 hooked up. I have Call of Duty plugged in. Honestly, maybe later in the stream we'll load up some COD. Lazy Muffin said, "Are you thinking about covering the talks of Nintendo beginning manufacturing on smaller cartridge sizes?" Yeah, I did see that. I was thinking about maybe making a short on that, maybe a full video. I'm not really sure, but very interesting because I saw the publisher, was it NN Games? They like had to retract the statement because obviously they weren't supposed to say that. It's very interesting. When's the High Guard stream? I might do it. Playing Octopath Traveler 0, 80 hours in, nearly at the end, so good. I wish I had time, dude. I know I would love Octopath 0, but I never even finished the first one, never even started the second one. I did get sent a code for Octopath 0, so huge shout out to Square Enix for that, but I just don't, like, I can play an 80-hour RPG, that's fine. But I only have so many in me a year, you know? Especially when I'm always trying to platinum games. So even games that aren't actually that long, I end up spending way more time on than I probably need to. All the Avatar games, or all the Avatar movies are the same. Yeah, Way of Water and Fire and Ash are very interesting. I know it's like they split it up into 2 movies. It was one part. But yeah, it's a little too close to being the same. Very pretty movies though. Very pretty movies. Biggest gripe about key cards is that annoying white bar. Do I have one? Oh yeah, I have one on the I have 2 examples here. Yeah, this beautiful white bar here. That was a Japanese game. Then I also got Yooka Replay Alien yesterday. Haven't not played it yet, but this one, it's just like the white bar, dude. It really does soil the vibe. Divinity 2 plays sweet on Switch 2. Hell yeah. I heard some people complaining about the resolution, I think. Maybe. There is a Highgar channel in the Discord. I don't know. Do I have the Discord in the description of the stream? I don't even know where I could see that. I don't promote the Discord at all. That's another thing I would like to start doing. Moving forward, promoting the Discord more. Get more people in there. Be lurking in the background. All right, thank you, Chance. Enjoy your night. Most wanted Switch 2 edition from a first party. The Xenoblade games just need patches. Hey, Adi with the Discord link. Thank you. Majogami. Yeah, that's the Inti Creates game, right? I really want to check that out. I've been so off the game when it comes to Inti Creates recently, I feel like. Early Switch days, I was playing everything. Mighty Gumbo Burst, the little Bloodstain games they did, obviously Blaster Master, my beloved. But the past couple years, I've not been keeping up with them. Starting your Wii U and 3DS collection, Braden? Heck yeah. least we got some good ones. Bonanza, Starcross World, Kirby Air Riders. Yeah, we'll talk about my thoughts on everything. I actually, Connor, I will say you're gonna love me for this. I did finally play Starcross World a couple days ago. I had not played it. I completely missed it. It came out during PAX, but I played through it. I didn't get 100%, and I did not do the like Ultimate Arena thing, so I still have some stuff to do. But I played through like all the new levels or level variants, however you want to call it. It was fine. I think it's one of the better Switch 2 editions. I guess really only when comparing it to Jamboree TV, like of like the old games that got new content, because like you can't really compare it to the Zeldas. It's fine, respectable little DLC, I suppose. Splatoon Raiders. Yeah, we'll talk about Splatoon Raiders. I guess we can go ahead and get into it. I want to show you guys something here. So I have made a Google document. I've basically cataloged the entire year of Nintendo events with like little links we can kind of visit here. Let me see. I like having chat up. Let me see. I'm gonna add chat to this screen. How do I do this? I always something about streaming and like having to like use the URL from the YouTube chat. I think if I did it through Streamlabs, it'd be easier. Maybe. Browser source, add existing, add chat. Oh, that just did it. Okay, hold on. Bear with me for a second. Bear with me. We're making this chat right here. Boom. Look at that. That's beautiful. It might be taking up too much of the screen, but that's fine. Hyper Pocopia, Tomodachi, and Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, I saw there was a tweet the other day that kind of blew up, and people were like, "Oh, this is like the worst lineup ever." And it was just a tweet going over all the first party game releases, and I'm like, "This is a really good lineup. What are we doing? what are we doing?" I understand like the franchise is like Pocopia is a spin-off, and Tomodachi Life isn't like it's not a Mario game. But are we just gonna do this every year now, where there's no big 3D Mario game and we just lose our minds? There's no new Animal Crossing game, so we lose our minds? I don't know. Pocopia, Tomodachi, Rhythm Heaven, Fire Emblem, Dusk Bloods, Yoshi. Like, not even counting Mario Wonder and Animal Crossing Switch 2 editions. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out next year that I'm excited for personally. I think next year looks great. Only that Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot pack did happen. Yeah, I got my Can you see it behind me? You can kind of see it behind me. I got my Kirby Planet Robobot Good Smile figure. It's huge. So that's cool. But let's go ahead and start recapping the year. Let's start back in January here with a little game called Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. How did we all feel about this release? I feel like this was not. It was fine. I don't know. Like, it just kind of came. And this is like the definition of it came and went. You know? Who in chat played this game? I played it. It was my third time playing the game. I thought it was good. I know the remaster has some issues. They like the hitboxes. Yeah, I have the trailer audio off. I didn't want it to get like too loud here. I guess I can. Where's my mouse? It's so hard because I have to have the mic in front of me. 400%ed it, Dan. Oh my goodness. That's a little crazy. I don't know. Yeah, this is just like there weren't many Switch 1 only releases this year. In fact, there were 3. And I feel like none of them really lit the world on fire. Unfortunately for Xenoblade. Let's just say I bought it on a 19-hour flight along with Dragon Quest and didn't even touch it. Yeah. They rushed it because of the design. That's interesting. I wonder. I feel like we're gonna get another Donkey Kong game, like a remaster or a remake or something that has this design eventually. Like for new stuff moving forward, the sports games, we're gonna get the new Bonanza design, but we'll see this guy pop up again, I feel like. First Donkey Kong Country game, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think Country Returns is actually like a great game. It's just the remaster itself didn't really move the needle. Very much in the way that Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon the year prior, when that got remastered, that just didn't do anything for me. It's just like, okay, I mean, this game's fine, you know? But no shot this guy. You don't think they're ever going to show this Donkey Kong in a game again? I guess, what Donkey Kong games could get remastered that would make that happen? It wouldn't be any of the Mario versus DK. Well, maybe a Mario versus Donkey Kong game. Jungle Beat would probably just get added to NSO, but I guess that doesn't count because it's just a ROM. You might be right. And maybe that is the reason they kind of rushed this out. It feels very similar to when, and I think you know what? I would need to go back and check my old videos. I would have to check. I think I might have actually predicted that. It felt very much like when they kind of just pooped out New Super Mario Bros. U, and then a month later, Mario Maker 2 was announced. Because they released this, kind of just, here it is, it's out, unceremonious. And then a few months later, they announced Bonanza. It's like they had to get it out before Bonanza. Target audience for this port is truly the people who have never played it before. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's why, like, people were so angry about this port being $60 and it didn't, like, the water in the backgrounds didn't look quite as good or something. And that's all very valid. However, it's for the people that have a Switch that never played it on Wii or on 3DS. That doesn't mean it should be a lazy port or whatever, but I don't know. It's just like, whatever. It's a low stakes release, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But that was on January 16th. Now, more importantly, on January 16th, we had the most legendary day of all time for Nintendo. So I'm actually linking to my my own reaction to this. Let me know in chat, were you here for this? We had heard prior to, wow, what's going on in the chat there? They're all spamming Luigi. We had heard prior to January 16th from, I think, Nate the Hate, actually. He was like confident that we were going to get a Switch 2 reveal this week. And nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. But I believed him. So I started streaming at like 2 a.m. that night. And I was like, I changed the title of this. You can't actually see it. But the original title of this video was like, or the stream was, I'm streaming until the reveal happens. And I ended up only streaming for 3.5 hours. Because they revealed it. I think it was at 5 a.m. You actually want to, let's see if we can play this. Hold on. Super loving it, but I just want to see, like, wait, they actually did something. Chat, successor. They actually, we had Nathaniel Bandy in the chat. Oh god. Oh god. It's all in Japanese. Is this a real video? Hold on. Whoa. I can't believe they just dropped it with no warning. Real chat? No, it's real. It's real. It's real. Switch 2's real. Switch 2's real. It's crazy. Chat. It's real. Oh my god. It's real. The Switch 2's real. It's been so long. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad I decided to do that. I mean, this is my most viewed stream ever. It has like 30,000 views. The stream, like, it just popped off when that happened. All these new people were flooding in. If they hadn't dropped it, what was your plan? I don't know. I think I was willing to stream for like 12 hours or something, but after that, I probably would have cut it off. But yeah, we finally had our first look at the console. It was kind of a weird, like, not that exciting. Well, it was exciting, obviously, but it wasn't like a huge thing because we already knew everything about the console, right? Like, we knew the Joy-Con were magnetic. We knew they were going to have the mouse controls. We just got a new look at it. Because I guess weeks prior to this, we were seeing all of the, like, the next handheld leaks on Reddit with like the weird AI background. Remember that? That was on Christmas last year. I made a video on Christmas Day, I remember, when that happened. Oh yeah, I was saying I was gonna play Donkey Kong if they didn't drop it. That was Plan B. Oh yeah, I never even had to play it, and it never got to that moment for me. And then of course we got our first look at Mario Kart World here, which would end up becoming, obviously, to some a great game, to others very controversial game, as we'll get to. And then also, this is funny at the end here. Mario Kart! Oh my god! They're actually showing games. Just a little tease. Mario Kart. Oh my shit. It's rare for me to curse. I got you got a curse out of me. But I remember right here it says April 2nd, and because it was the Japanese video, I thought it was backwards. So I was like, "Oh my god, we're getting the direct on February 4th." That obviously did not happen. But yeah, that was a crazy day. that reveal was a crazy day. First look at the console, and then it was like really quiet after that. You can't hear the stream, like just this video right here. That's weird. Those 15 seconds of Mario Kart fueled me for 3 months. Let's see, what did Connor say? Are you still believing in Nate the Hates Planet Robobot rumor? Yeah, I think it'll happen next year. That perplexes me because there is desktop audio, it says. Let me, just for future reference. Ad is already in use. Okay, Chrome Audio then. Prime 4 is the only Switch 2 game worth playing. I don't know about that. I don't think I agree with that. Okay, let me see if there's audio now. God! Can you hear that? Check Nintendo of America? Because like on my audio thing, it's showing that there's 2 now. My God, Nintendo of America. It's not a huge deal if not. Oh, you can hear it now? Okay, good. Low. Yeah, I was having that issue when I was streaming the Game Awards. And that was like a whole thing. Hearing it through a microphone. Yeah, I was having that issue during the Game Awards where like for some reason the desktop audio is like super quiet. It's not a huge issue. I mean, that was really the only thing I think I have linked here that where audio might be relevant, so. What do we have next? Pretty slow after that. I think when the reveal happened, we all thought that the floodgates were going to open and we're going to start seeing all these third parties announce their games, and that did not happen. And we were all kind of like, well, what's going on? We later found out that Nintendo did not send out dev kits until very late. And honestly, it feels like not until the past couple of weeks even, we started really seeing the influx of third parties announcing their games. Like, I think this past week we had like, what, 7 third-party games announced. We had Pragmata, Divinity, Dispatch is coming very soon. Like, for a while there, we were only getting third-party announcements in Nintendo Directs, which was kind of deflating, honestly. I think a lot of us were hoping for like that big moment of, well, here's a bunch of stuff happening all at once, but no. As for this Pokemon Direct, Dan, you might remember this more than me. What even happened here? I guess we got our first real look at Legends ZA. Pokemon Presents are so, like, it's so lame because I remember most Directs. Like, Nintendo Directs, I remember, and that's, like, you know, very memorable events for me. Pokemon Presents are literally always the same thing. It's just, okay, here's your mobile slot, here's your Masters EX, here's your Pokemon TCG Pocket Update, here's your Scarlet and Violet raid event, here's your live action trailer. It's always just the same thing. This is the trailer for, also, I know it's very cut off. I apologize. How do I turn off theater mode? Why am I in theater mode? Here. That'll make that way. There you go. That's way better. Yeah, Champions, which still isn't out. We don't have a release date for this, do we? We're overdue. Like, it's cool. I guess it has to come out before Worlds, right? It must come out before Worlds, I imagine. They plan on using it at Worlds. Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. So we'll finally get this out. Hopefully soon here. Also on iOS, of course. Howdy. And then the rest of this was just a bunch of Pokemon card stuff. And then our first actual look at Legends ZA. It's funny to think, like, when this game was announced, or when they showed it here for the first time, people were down on the graphics, but it was nowhere near what it became when the game actually released. You know? People were just like, oh, you know, it looks a little bit better than Scarlet and Violet. It's fine, you know. No one was really focusing on like these windows back then, I feel like. Maybe they were and I just didn't see it. But the hate for this game that would later sprout when it released was crazy. Someone said it earlier when we were watching the Switch 2 reveal back, but This is like a pre-hater time, you know? There was just a bunch of hope in our hearts, all positivity. People were just very excited about the future of Nintendo. And then April 2nd hits. We'll get to that. And that's when everything changed. What did they say in the intro to Avatar, The Last Airbender? It's like all the clans started fighting. The pre-Nintendo grifting era. Yeah. But this looked fine. Yeah, our first look at the combat, cool. Just finished Legends ZA and really enjoyed it. Awesome. Yeah, I think Legends ZA is awesome as well. I have not played the DLC yet. But I did enjoy my time with it. Gen 10 will be $80. Or if it's $80. I think it'll be 70. You know what? I'm gonna hope that it's only $70. We saw Taranza and Susie Haltman in Kirby Air Raiders. That has to mean that we're definitely getting a Triple Deluxe Planet Robot next year. I don't know about that. We'll see what Hal's doing. Hal must have something soon, right? Because they worked on Starcross World, but they didn't really have much involvement with Air Riders. And Forgotten Land originally was, 2022? So, we're overdue. Fast forward another month. We have the release of Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Nintendo Switch. How many people in chat played this game? I want to know. Raise your hand. I have something to say about this game. And it makes me sad to say it. I think Nintendo did this game so dirty. And it's just so frustrating. So, little backstory. I think you can actually see it. You can actually see it with the new camera angle. I'm a huge Xenoblade fan. I love Xenoblade. I love Xenoblade so much. And I say that having not played Xenoblade X. I was waiting for so long for a Xenoblade X Switch 1 port because I was like, okay, well, obviously this is going to happen. I'm just going to wait. I have it on Wii U. I could play it on Wii U. But frankly, I just wanted to wait for the Switch version where they inevitably would add new story content. Then they announced it late last year, October, 29th or something. March 20th comes around. I play it for 10 hours and I'm enjoying it. It's fine, not crazy or anything, but it's cool. I didn't get far enough to the point where, I'm using the mechs and everything. But I was enjoying my time with it. But then the damn Switch 2 Direct is on April 2nd. And then they announced all these Switch 2 editions. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Now I'm just in the same loop of waiting for a Switch 2 patch. And I know people say, oh, you can just play it on Switch 2 without the patch, and that's good as well. And I'm sure it is. But, it's the principle of the thing. They just released it at the worst time. And as far as we know, it hasn't sold 1 million copies, which is pretty bad. Maybe it has by now, but I just feel like the release date of this game was really poor. Also, even the way they announced it just on Twitter, would this be the highest profile game they announced on Twitter? I guess if you count Splatoon Raiders, I guess that would be. But I don't know. The way they handled this, I just feel like they just kind of they just dropped it out, They didn't care about it. If they made it feel like a filler title where it was released. If this had been a February title or even early March, it would have been much better. It's the fact that I had less than 2 weeks from release to the April 2nd Direct, and then they announced all the Switch 2 editions. And I'm like, well, okay then. And especially because wasn't it data mines that there's a 60 FPS or a resolution bump or something with this game? Wasn't that data mined? So we know it's coming. I think that makes it even worse. It's going to happen. They're just sitting on it. I don't know, man. Imagine if they just hadn't released this in March, and yes, that would have been a bigger gap for us in the first half of the year. But imagine if this was releasing in I don't know, 2 weeks after Animal Crossing in a couple weeks, right? This would have been a huge Switch 2 game, I feel like, if it released as a Switch 2 game. Would have gotten way more press, way more buzz. Because where they released it, I just feel like it kind of came and went. Marketing has been Nintendo's weak point this year. Absolutely. Say what you will about the over negativity and everything. I will say their marketing has been pretty bad. And almost every front. So many of these situations that they've gotten themselves into could have been avoided. But we'll talk about key cards in a second, I guess. But there's so much stuff that they could have just clarified or explained better. And then people started running with that. $80 Mario Kart. They fumbled. They fumbled a lot of stuff this year in terms of messaging, for sure. Good game, not for me. Yeah, like I said, I was enjoying what I played of it. Although for me, Xenoblade, I mean, I love Xenoblade 2 and 3 combat. Xenoblade 1 combat, I really don't like, and this is kind of just Xenoblade 1 combat, but also it doesn't have much of a story, which is the most important thing for me in a Xenoblade game. So I wouldn't say I was like having a religious experience with it. I was like, yeah, it's fine, you know. But I'm sure it gets better as you keep playing it. Let's move on. Because a week after Xenoblade X released, and also another distraction, frankly, from Xenoblade X, for me anyway, in terms of my coverage. We had the March 27th Direct. This was kind of unexpected because we thought we would get a February Direct, and then we didn't, and then people kind of gave up on any hope of any more Switch 1 games. But then we got a March 27th Direct, and this Direct is fine, right? We saw, what do we see here? We saw Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD for the first time, I think, actually seeing these games. Konami Date, I played a bit of this. It's the worst game, but, you know, it's fine, whatever. Raito Remastered. Shadow Labyrinth got a trailer. Patapon, Story of Seasons. New trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I mean, we'll be talking about Metroid Prime 4 a lot in this video, or in the stream, I guess. But I feel like this was the trailer where a lot of people kind of gave up on this game, or started having doubts about this game, I should say. Maybe not give up. Because the first trailer that they showed a year prior, it was like, okay, they're just kind of showing the game for the first time, showing that it's Metroid Prime 4, a new Metroid Prime game. That's what we want to see. This is the trailer that I feel like really needed to sell it for a lot of people and like show off some new crazy mechanics. And they show off the psychic abilities. But they didn't look that cool, to be honest. For a lot of people, I feel like. I don't know. This trailer did not sell the game. It's crazy seeing this trailer again, knowing what we know now. Yeah. I don't know. The marketing for Prime 4, especially this year, I think was pretty poor. That last trailer was good that they released in November, but yeah, nothing too great there. Witchbrook, Gradius, Tamagotchi Plaza. Another look at Legends ZA, which was weird because we had just seen it. Like, I feel like this was kind of redundant. Xenoblade 3 has a lot of what feels very tutorial heavy. I don't remember that, to be honest. But also, it's been, what, 4 years since I played it? 3 years? I love Xenoblade 3 so much. But then we got the Megaton. The Megaton of this Direct. We got Rhythm Heaven Groove. Can you believe it? Can you believe we got a new Rhythm Heaven announced? That's unbelievable. But then they hit you, they slap you in the face and say 2026. What are we doing? I don't understand. Well, I do understand. But it's frustrating seeing them announce games of this scale, I would say. Nothing against Rhythm Heaven. I love Rhythm Heaven. Announcing games of this scale over a year in advance, like, what are we doing? This does not need to be announced in March 2025 for a 2026 release, and we still don't have a release date for it. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I'm so happy it exists. It's just like, okay, well, I feel like... Did they show this again in September? Did we see this again? I feel like we didn't, but I might be wrong. After that, they announced virtual game cards. I don't have too much to say on this, honestly. It's kind of annoying, honestly, if anything. Now you can, like, authentically trade your games with friends or whatever, but you could kind of already do that, and now it's a little bit more cumbersome. I do wonder when Planet Robobot will be announced. I think we're gonna get a Direct at some point in spring, and it'll be announced then, and then released like in the second half of the year, actually. But also, I mean, they could just release 3 Kirby games back to back, basically. But for you, it actually ruined playing games offline. Yeah, I've heard from some people that it really kind of messed up how they interacted with having multiple Switches and everything. I have not really experienced that, but my sympathy goes out to anybody who this affected. the virtual key or virtual game cards. I always want to call them virtual key cards. A bunch of random stuff here. Fantasy Life, banger game, by the way. I did a video on Fantasy Life, actually, I think, yeah, and I mean, that game's awesome. Saga Frontier 2. Everybody's golf. We got Dan in chat. I know he's a big fan of this game. Right, Dan? Hopefully the next Nintendo Direct will knock her socks off. I will say, genuinely, I've been getting more and more comments recently about like, okay, early year directs. People are starting to think about the early year, and that's fair. People are already, setting themselves up for a February direct, as we used to see. I don't think so. Or I think what will happen is some sort of partner showcase. I bet that I'll say this right now. I think the next direct we get is going to be a partner showcase. We already have so much announced for 2026. So a lot of it's not dated, but a lot of it is like spring. So like Tomodachi Life and Yoshi and I think Dusk Buds doesn't have a window. Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition, like they're all slated for spring. I think they're gonna announce those dates on Twitter. And honestly, I bet we don't get any major first party news until like June. To be honest, I know nobody wants to hear that, but I think it's gonna be a little bit. And then we'll get a partner showcase with a bunch of third party stuff, and maybe they'll just toss a first party bone in there. Dusk Bloods obviously would be the highlight of that, with a date. And then they closed my game of the show. I could not believe it. I could not believe it when they announced this. Tomodachi Life coming back. Little tease for 2026. Talked about wanting to stream more. I do have a 3DS capture card. I'm gonna be streaming some Tomodachi Life in the new year. Maybe get chat involved, put some of your guys' Miis in the game. That'd be kind of fun. But yeah, I love Tomodachi Life. I've long been an advocate of this game getting a sequel or even a remake of the 3DS version like Miitopia got. So to see it announced was crazy. I mean, even my little like starting soon screen for my stream, it all spawned from this, which is funny. So, and this kind of took the world by storm. I think it's still Nintendo's most liked post on social media, at least for the Japanese account, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for this. I hope there's like a proper Switch 2 version. I want that resolution bump. I want some mouse controls, or just, really I just want the Switch 2 box on my shelf so I can put it with my Switch 2 games. That's the real thing I want. But they didn't actually end on that. They actually ended on Nintendo Today, which I guess this is kind of like an essential part of the year, especially when we talk about Splatoon Raiders. But does anybody in chat check this app? Does anybody use Nintendo Today? I used it when leading up to the Switch 2 launch. They were like posting like the 3D models of like the HDMI cable or the AC adapter or like the dock or whatever. But I have not used it since. Maybe I'll like open it for a second just to see something, but like it's not like I'm checking it daily like I was that first month. Nintendo was like, "Oh, we're gonna announce we're gonna announce stuff every day leading up to Switch 2 launch," and then after that, it kind of just fell off. They announce directs here usually before it gets to Twitter, so that's something. And I know they've been doing more to update it. I think they just added a Donkey Kong theme, didn't they? They added a Donkey Kong theme recently, so I don't know. They'll keep doing it. They'll keep it updated. But I just feel like nobody actually cares. But what's really annoying is like they will take down Twitter posts or even YouTube videos showing the content that's in the app. Like they want to have a monopoly on their own stuff, and Nintendo's so backwards with how they approach media online. I feel like I tune into all the directs they've had from the Nintendo Today app. Oh yeah, you can watch them in the app, can't you? Sure, I guess. But then not even a full week later, we had an even bigger direct than that. We had the Switch 2 reveal direct. And I mean, this was pretty good, I thought, Pretty much everything announced here is already out except for Dusk Bloods, and maybe some other third-party things. First look at Mario Kart World, first full in-depth look, our first confirmation that it's a open world game. I think this game looked amazing at first glance. And I still think it does look amazing. I think visually, I mean, this is a really impressive game. Just from like all the animations and stuff when you're doing the open world and Mario's kind of just dancing to the music. So Mario Kart World, very impressive. What else did they show here? Oh, game chat. Okay, show of hands in chat. Who uses game chat? I used game chat so much the first couple weeks. And then specifically because I make YouTube content and I want to record my gameplay and stuff, usually when I want to talk to friends, we just use Discord while I'm recording it. But if I wasn't doing that, game chat actually works pretty well. I think game chat actually is pretty cool. Um, it's just when I'm not sitting at my desk, I'm going through the capture card. I don't have speakers on my monitors. It's just a little bit easier to just use Discord for me. But for those that don't have that specific setup, I think it's cool. Just very specific use case, I guess. Tried it but can't get it to work, huh? Yeah, I don't know if it needs a whole dedicated button on the controller. Um, but it's cool. You also have game share. Me and Dan played through that Nicktoons game, or at least most of it, through game share not too long ago. So that was kind of fun. Gonna buy you speakers for Christmas. I don't want speakers. I just have my headset, and that's fine. You're not getting me on game chat, Dan. It's not happening. And then they started announcing all these Switch 2 editions, which was so different from what I expected. I think before this direct, I was saying like, Nintendo's not going to be re-releasing all these Switch 1 games on Switch 2. That doesn't make any sense. And I remember like a lot of other people were predicting all these patches, free patches, updates, and I was just like, no, that's not really their thing. They're not going to do that. Well, boy, was I wrong. They're re-releasing more Switch 1 games on Switch 2 than they were releasing Wii U ports on Switch. Which I did not expect. So that was interesting. Yeah, we got the whole console overview here. Cool, sure. We'll talk about the console itself in a little bit more depth in a bit. Where's all the dang Switch 2 editions? I guess that's a little bit later. We got Welcome Tour announced. We'll save the Welcome Tour chat for when we get to launch day. Yeah, here we go. Switch 2 edition. We got Jamboree TV was our first one. This could have been so cool. I played a lot of Jamboree over the summer, but Jamboree TV sucks. Like, it's just not fun. The camera on the Switch 2 does not work very well, in my experience. Maybe it's my lighting or something, but I don't know. And the mini games that are there are very shallow. But then I think the biggest offense that Jamboree TV did is like all the separations it did for like the modes, where like you load up the game, there's 2 home screens now, and that's just a mess. The Zelda Switch 2 editions, beautiful. We'll talk about those. Obviously, Kirby. I guess we don't need to talk about most of these right now because we'll get to their release dates. But in terms of like what this direct offered in terms of announcements, I thought it was pretty good. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion ended up being a pretty big disappointment for me, but all these third-party ports, Hitman, Bravely Default, Bravely Keycard. I enjoyed what I played of this. I didn't finish it. I want to get back to it. Hyrule Warriors, the most predictable game of all time. For so long, I was like, yeah, we're going to get a new Hyrule Warriors. Even though we're all hoping for Xenoblade Warriors, I was like, nah, it's going to be Hyrule Warriors for Tears of the Kingdom. And lo and behold, it was. Except this time it was actually pretty good, unlike Age of Calamity. Here's something I didn't expect. I did not expect GameCube Switch Online. Like, I thought it was going to happen eventually, but I didn't think they would, like, launch the system with it. But then, like, leading up to the Direct, we saw, I think there was, like, patents for a GameCube Switch controller. So it just became more and more real. And it's awesome. I know the release cadence of GameCube games is a little slow for some people's liking, but I'm happy with it, you know? I have a lot of games to play, so I'm not like, oh, why isn't Fire Emblem on there yet? It's kind of like a fun, exciting thing when one does drop. Like Wario World last week. It was like, oh, cool, Wario World's out. That wasn't even one of the games they announced, you know? Played Breath of the Wild for the first time on Switch 2. You got the best experience, my friend. Good lord, that game's so beautiful on Switch 2. Switch Online is such a fair value. I can't believe they did GameCube at all. Yeah. I mean, honestly, they could have. I like GameCube is so good. They could have done another tier. I feel like. Oh, here's where the stream froze. Remember this? If you were watching this live, it like froze right here or something. And then everybody missed this Star Seeker announcement or whatever, which was funny. 7 Remake, Cyberpunk, really showing that third-party support off. Yes, it's all mostly old games, but still neat. And then the Dustbloods trailer. I remember I thought this was going to be Castlevania until that From Software logo popped up. And I wasn't right, but like it's vampires, so I got the vibes right. Can y'all believe we're getting an exclusive From Software game? I know people are kind of down on it because it's multiplayer, but honestly, Night Rain was so awesome that like I'm totally in on this game. I cannot wait for Duskbloods. I want to see more of it. Hopefully they do a beta test. I know it's not really like the normal Nintendo flavor, but this being announced here is awesome. I do wish it wasn't exclusive, to be honest. Like I would rather play this on PS5. I'm sure it's gonna run a little weird on Switch too. But it being here was crazy. I could not believe that. And it looks sick. Really Bloodborne vibes all throughout. In terms of like the architecture and lighting and everything. The Kid Camp game as the Direct Crasher. Yeah, so I have it right here. I got my, I keep it on me. I keep my key card on me, dude. Hope it runs 60 FPS. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm skeptical. I mean, we're still waiting on Elden Ring, which actually opened the section of third-party announcements. We haven't gotten Elden Ring on Switch 2 yet. No release date. It was supposed to come out this year. They delayed it. I played it at PAX West, and it was maybe the worst port of a game I've ever played in my life. Like it was unplayable, the frame rate. So I'm glad they delayed it, and hopefully that delay gets it running well because it was not good. I was playing with my friend next to me, and like you could just see like enemies moving at 2 FPS like in the distance a little bit, and we kind of just looked at each other. And then the Nintendo rep looked at me and he was like, "You enjoying it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm happy Elden Ring's on Switch too. So hopefully they get that port working out a little bit better. Kirby Air Riders, here you go, Connor. Who expected this? I think we all kind of hoped or thought that Sakurai would do something other than Smash next. I don't think anybody was expecting it to be Kirby Air Riders. This tease didn't give us much. But I mean, at this moment, everybody knew, like, oh, wow, they're doing new Kirby Air Riders. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then, of course, they closed on Bonanza. Their big game. It's crazy that, like, even after this, people were still, like, because this released in, what, July? Even after this was announced and we had the release date for July, people were still saying, oh, we're going to get a 3D Mario this holiday. It's like, come on. This is your 3D Mario. And a lot of people really love this game. I think it's fine. I'm not one of the people in love with it, but it's a good game. I'm happy that people love it so much. Oh yeah, and then they immediately leaked Pauline the next day. Was that revealed in the Direct in June? We knew about it for so long. How did that leak? I don't remember thinking that was Planet Robobot, Connor. I don't remember. Maybe I did. Robobot was just on the mind back then. We all thought it was going to happen. I was not very excited for Bonanza until the dedicated Direct. Yeah, I think a lot of people felt that way, myself included. But then that Direct, I mean, that Direct was crazy. So that was April 2nd. But I think the bigger thing on April 2nd, beyond the games and the console reveal and the release date of June 5th, was all of the discussion around the pricing, and then obviously the US pricing and the tariffs, and then they had to delay pre-orders. I think game key cards, we found out about those this day. This is when Nintendo lost control of the narrative, and they completely messed up everything. This is when it all fell apart. So I know $80 Mario Kart obviously being, I think maybe the biggest thing. There was like a 10-minute period after this Direct where people genuinely thought Mario Kart World was going to be 90, and then it was 80, and then that's still really bad, you know? Obviously, depending on region, it was more than that. And that's just unbelievable. I like Mario Kart World. Shouldn't be $80. I don't know what they're doing. Especially because it's bundled with the console, so it's like you're paying $50, and it's like, well, why'd you make it $80? I don't know. It's just such a... Is the $10 extra per sale in that game, when most of the sales are coming from the $50 bundle anyway, are the $10 extra from each sale worth it for what happened? Was it really, really worth it to them? Probably not. I bet if they could go back in time, they wouldn't have done that. But I feel like Nintendo's stubborn, and they announced it at 80, and then it was going to be 80, and there was no moving that. And obviously, I'm sure people are buying it at 80 as well, and eventually they'll stop doing that bundle. But man, the bad press that Mario Kart World being $80, and in some cases, I mean, I still see people saying that there are $90 games on the Switch too, and then that every first party game is 80, which kind of complicated with the Switch 2 editions and how those are 80. But like Bonanza's not, Prime 4 is not, Pokemon's not, Kirby Air Riders isn't. Mario Kart being 80 was terrible. That was just terrible for the messaging of this console, I feel like. Yeah, I got the physical copy of Mario Kart as well, because I'm a sicko. But yeah, the pricing situation was rough. The price of the console, I feel like maybe there were some people complaining once we found out the actual pricing in the US and then the, pre-order date. But I think 450 is perfectly fine for what it is, honestly. And I will say, we'll talk about predictions in like a week or two on the channel for 2026. I think that price is going to go up. With everything going with RAM right now and how, like, what is it, Crucial is like backing out of consumer selling, and then it's just like, I know PC parts and components, it's all really bad right now. I think Switch 2 probably going to go up in price because of this, but we'll see. Terrible decision making it 80. I think if they had just made Mario Kart World $70, that would have prevented a lot of talk around this console reveal. Yeah, Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming, he reported it was 90 at first, and then that kind of just devolved from there. But then we learned about game key cards, and people were like, "Oh, you don't own the games, and you need to be connected to the internet to play them." It was honestly, this whole situation is kind of comparable to the Xbox One reveal, and so far as the messaging and how people reacted to it. The difference is a lot of it isn't as bad as people have, made it out to be, and also it's still selling really well. I think we were heading to a gaming crash indicated by sales. Yeah, I saw November. Well, the revenue was great because the consoles cost more, but like it was like units of console units, like individual, like one PS5, one Switch. It was like the least it's ever been for a November since like 95, I think, which is I mean, that's really bad. Yeah, the whole messaging with this console, just a disaster. And this is really like, this is the end of our, like, we can just talk about Nintendo and have a good time, ever since this Direct, it's just been the constant negativity. Everybody hates Nintendo. Some reasons very valid, I think some are not, but this was the last day of enjoying Nintendo discussion online, Switch game collection. I need to do a Switch 2 game collection. Yeah, the industry, I don't know if I'd say there's going to be a gaming crash, but stuff's clearly not going all too well overall. Loaded budgets. I saw, like, I think it was yesterday, Intergalactic, apparently they're like crunching right now to hit their mid 2027 release target or something. It's crazy. Naughty Dog hasn't released a game since 2020. Like, what are we doing? Okay, after April 2nd, what happened? Oh, we got oh yeah, remember this? I streamed this. This sucked. Remember the Mario Kart World Direct that revealed actually nothing new? That was fun. We were all hoping and thinking like, okay, this is an $80 game. They're gonna announce so much great stuff here. They're gonna announce a battle royale. They're gonna announce a million tracks. And then the biggest reveal was that you can rewind. Where's all the characters? Where's all the fun new modes? There are loads of modes, Nintendo. This is not loads of modes in your new $80 game, your first new Mario Kart in a decade. People were expecting more from this Direct. I was expecting more from this Direct, and it definitely disappointed. And people were in denial until the game released of like, oh, they're hiding so much. They're hiding all these characters in costume. It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. I guess there were some things that we didn't see, like in the open world that you can do, but like in terms of content, we knew everything in that first 5-minute trailer. P-Switch is free roam mode. Well, see, I guess this is the first time they explained it, but like even at my demo, because I went to New York and I played the Switch 2 on April 4th, I want to say, When you're in the lobby, like I was able to do P switches, you know, and like find peace medallions. I'm pretty sure. So, oh, mirror mode, yeah, but like Dan, you're saying, oh, mirror mode was hidden, and I know it's not your fault, but why they even hide that? Why did they make mirror mode in this game such like a big deal? Like, bro, we've always had that. DLC for the game is definitely going to be announced in the first year direct. Yes, 100%. But I think it's going to be a big ol' paid expansion. Great game, but hard to follow up 8 Deluxe and with the booster quest pass. Yeah, I mean, I think Mario Kart World's great, as we'll get to with the ranking. But it definitely has issues. And coming off of 8 Deluxe, it's kind of rough. Opinions on Cal from Mario Kart World. I like all the characters. I like that they brought all the NPCs in there. I'm a Peepa. I'm a Peepa main. I also like the I'm blanking. I'm a fake player. Really, just any of the enemies like that. I enjoyed playing as. But I know some people view it as like lazy. It's like, oh, they just took all the models from the open world and made them playable characters. But like, that's cool to me. I thought it was cool. After that, we had the launch of the console itself. Okay, this is a big day. Fake Cal main. I didn't main Cal. I always main the small characters. How do we feel about the Switch 2 console itself, chat? Is it what you wanted? Is this what you expected out of the Switch 2? The next-gen Nintendo Switch? I would say for me, like, there are things I want. Like, I'm a big trophy guy. I really, really wish there were trophies on the Switch 2. I wish there were themes and all that stuff. But upgraded Switch hardware, more comfortable to hold. The Joy-Con are way better. Pro Controller is awesome. The eShop, they fixed the eShop on Switch 2. I think that was like maybe my biggest request, honestly, coming from the Switch 1. I've been happy with it. Like, in terms of the console and like OS experience, user experience, like I think it's been awesome. I know a couple months ago there was a bunch of those Nintendo grifting channels being like, "Oh, everybody regrets their Switch 2 purchase," and I think some people probably do, and that's valid if you feel that way. But I don't know. I've been happy with it. My thing is when people say like, "Oh, I regret it because there's no games," it's like, well, there's been a game every month. If you don't like those games, that's fine. I question why you bought it when they were all announced before pre-orders went up. But also, if there's very little games that interest you from the full year lineup here, but also what's announced for next year, then I question how much you like Nintendo games. But also, there's third-party stuff too, like Resident Evil Requiem and Pragmata. Like, we're getting real games, real third-party games. I fail to see how you could really be disappointed in the lineup, honestly. I know people want 3D Mario and they want a new Animal Crossing, but I think this year's lineup, while not as good as 2017, is still very good. One big RPG or adventure game. Yeah, I would say, like, I wish Fire Emblem maybe was a little bit sooner, or if Monolith Soft had been there, like Xenoblade 2 in 2017. Because part of my language, a lot of what we've had this year is the Scrimblow stuff, the Marios, the Kirbys, the family-friendly games. We haven't had anything more mature like that from Nintendo. But next year we're getting Fire Emblem, Dusk Bloods, which is exclusive. I am excited for Dispatch on Switch 2. I've been wanting to play that for a while. This year, Nintendo gave me a decent amount, but nothing I'm interested in from them next year. It happens. Third-party wise, I am. Yeah, but like, also, we all know how Nintendo operates. What they have announced is probably half of what is actually releasing next year. There will be bigger games next holiday. Like, it's going to happen. But most of what's announced right now is releasing in the first half of the year. So there will be more. People just need to be patient, I feel like. Do we know if Dispatch is getting a physical Switch 2 copy? It's not getting one at launch. I bet it will get a key card later. But probably not at launch. You're right, Connor. We do need that triple deluxe and Planet Robobot 2-pack. It's got to happen. Of course, that day we also had Mario Kart World. We don't really need to talk about it too much more here. We'll talk about it when we rank it. But Mario Kart World has its up and downs. I hate the intermissions. personally. I'm not into that style, but everything else about the game I think is awesome. The new mechanics are really good, but I do not like intermissions. So make of that what you will. Welcome Tour. I 100% of this game. I put like 25 hours in the Welcome Tour. I put so much time into this game. I definitely got my what, $10 worth out of it. Oh, this one was really annoying with the camera because the camera is so bad on the Switch 2. I couldn't get the score for so long. You have to like mimic the expression. Don't forget about Woolly World accidentally leaking. I question that now. Like, was it really? Maybe it's. I guess it was unique art, so it couldn't have been an accident. But also, we're getting the mysterious book. So, like, when is that happening? Is that like a late next year game thing? Are we getting 2 Yoshi games in 2026? I don't know. I saw GameStop gave Welcome Tour the worst game of the year award. I understand Nintendo should have made this free. Like, they should have been. It should have been free. It should have been included with the console. But also, I think this is what makes talking about Nintendo this year so kind of like frustrating. It's like, you're really that upset about Welcome Tour? You're really that upset about this $10 eShop game? You're upset that it requires a 4K TV for one of the challenges. It's like, you're a fake person if this actually like upsets you. It's so like just inconsequential. Like, this doesn't matter. You can hate the game, that's fine. But it's just like, why are we getting so angry about it? Everything Nintendo did this year, we just had to be so angry. And I can't look at this game and get angry. If it was $60, then sure, but it's like $10 throwaway eShop title. I don't know. Like, I saw people freaking out about Animal Crossing having a $5 upgrade. It's like, it's $5, dude. I don't know. I know times are tough, but $5? Getting angry about that? And I will say, I mean, this game was definitely for the Nintendo sickos. Like, I mean, they just showed the Japanese exclusive N64 mouse. Like, there was some. It was just cool seeing all these random things referenced. And like I said, I did 100% it, so I have more time in this game than probably most people. Would I recommend it at $10? I mean, I did a full review of it. I wouldn't recommend it to most people, but if you're a huge Nintendo fan, then yeah, you'll probably get some enjoyment out of it. Doing the little quizzes, doing the little mini games, very Wii Play style mini games. And here, the presentation itself is cute, so I don't know, like, it's fine. I'm gonna rank it very lowly on my list of all the games for this year, but like, it's inoffensive, you know. Performative outrage. Yeah, I think that explains or describes a lot of what happened this year. But also, like, I don't want to just discredit the valid criticisms, because I think a lot of what Nintendo did this year is like worthy of criticism. But when we're getting that that pressed about Welcome Tour, it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know, this one doesn't want to be a link for some reason. We do have the Switch 2 editions of Zelda. Not too much to say on these. Zelda Notes is kind of cool, but also it's annoying having your phone with you while you play. But I do want to say, I played through probably about 70% of a 100% Master Mode playthrough on the Switch 2 of Breath of the Wild this summer. I still need to go back and finish it. But these are probably my favorite Switch 2 editions that we've had. I like revisiting Breath of the Wild and for, I think is it 1440 60 or is it 4K 60? Revisiting the game with the increased resolution and frame rate was just so nice. I mean, I love these games. And every time I think I've beaten Breath of the Wild 3 times now. The first time I went back to play it, I was so worried that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much because it's not that first time experience. And like, certainly it's a different experience, but going back to it again and then going back to it again on Switch 2, I love it as much every time, just for different reasons. I have not tried out Tears of the Kingdom yet on Switch 2, but I am a Tears of the Kingdom guy. I do like that game more than Breath of the Wild, so I know when I eventually do get to it, I will very much enjoy it. Playing through it again on Switch 2, 100%ing it. Biggest disappointment with this for me was no Master Mode for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know how they missed out on that. That feels like such an easy thing. I mean, you don't need to go crazy with like all the floating platforms they added in Breath of the Wild, but like, you could have added something. I feel like for difficulty. Scale up all the mobs, you know. But yeah, revisiting these games or revisiting Breath of the Wild was definitely honestly it might be my favorite experience so far on the Switch too, which is funny. Um, just good vibes. I love these games. I remember doing the glitch to get the Master Sword early and went and fought Ganon at 3 hearts. That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of the glitches you can't do anymore because of the frame rate. Like specifically, there was one I love doing in Breath of the Wild on Switch 1 that involved like using a bomb on a tower to like shoot yourself across the map, and because of the increased frame rate, you can't really do that on the Switch 2 version. Like I don't even think they actually patched it. It just literally physically is not humanly possible because of the increased frame rate or something. Remember when people thought playing used games would ban your system outright? Well, isn't that actually well, obviously, yeah, there was a lot of like, oh, Nintendo can brick your system and your system can get banned, and that's all really dumb. But wasn't there something with that MIG switch like flashcard thing on Switch 1 where if someone like plays a game with the same ID as you, it actually can mess up your Switch 1? But also like how likely is it you're gonna buy a copy of from GameStop used or eBay or whatever that has had that happen to it? Pretty low odds. And also I don't even know if that's true. To be honest with you. It doesn't seem like it's an issue. Okay, what do we have next year? Oh, yeah, 5 days after launch. I remember my friend Tucker texted me. He was like, "Bo, wake up! You need to get on your computer. You need to react to a trailer." And then he linked me the trailer. And then they announced Splatoon Raiders. What the hell was this for? And I still question, what was this for? I mean, up until like August, I was like in my head, like, is there a chance this game is releasing in 2025? And I mean, obviously that's not happening now. We only have 12 days left in the year. Why did they announce this game? I know the like true answer people will say is, oh, it was for the anniversary of Splatoon. But like, they could have just announced the Splatoon 3 update on Twitter. They didn't need to announce this game. I'm very intrigued by it. I'm very excited for it. But I just don't really know what purpose this served announcing it when they did, and then not elaborating for the rest of the year. Like the fact that we didn't see this in the September Direct was crazy. Um, I hope we see it again soon. This to me, this strikes me as like probably a summer game next year, maybe like July on the Switch 2. But it's just weird they announced it and then just didn't elaborate, you know. And then we got the Splatoon 3 patch, which I played once and it was cool. It runs better, looks nicer. But we don't even really know what this game is. I think it'd be really funny if it's a Splatoon extraction shooter. What was the wording they used for a Splatoon spin-off game? Have they actually said the word single player yet? I think people are assuming it's like a single player story thing, but I bet this has multiplayer in some capacity. Personally. Yeah, just a Splatoon spinoff. So like there'll be a campaign in here with Shiver and Fry and all and Big Man. But I bet this game has multiplayer. Still. And hopefully we find out more soon. But they're taking their time with that. We had the Bonanza Direct a week later. This was a banger. This was the most hyped and most enjoyment I ever got out of Bonanza. Seeing this Direct, getting hyped for it, seeing little Pauline, all the different costumes. Like this Direct is what we wanted the Mario Kart World Direct to do, and just really show everything about that game. And I mean, in Mario Kart World's case, it did, but we already do everything. With this, I mean, so much was revealed about Bonanza that made it look so exciting. This is how you do a game-specific Direct. This was awesome. Then you have like the music at the end. There's no audio right now, but this Direct was very good. Very, very good. That's revealed the amiibo here, right? The $30 amiibo. Somewhere in here. Bonanza section of the orchestra was my favorite. Well, yeah, because they got the lyrics, man. I made it so much more exciting. Like whenever you bring the vocals into it in like an orchestra or like a video game performance, it's like, oh, whoa, okay, we're doing this now. But yeah, that was a fantastic direct for Bonanza. After that, we had another Pokemon Presents, another very forgettable Pokemon Presents. Once again, Dan, if you're still in chat, what was this? I know Pokemon Friends was announced here. Was it just more? I don't want to show constant. They're gonna demonetize the stream. No, don't show that. Pokemon Kanto. This spoiler alert for the ranking. This is the worst game that was released this year by Nintendo. Or did Nintendo even publish it? I don't know. I'm including it in the ranking, but I don't even know if they actually published it. This game sucks. I mean, it's free to play. Yeah, there was a second Pokemon Direct there presents. It was in July. And they showed a lot more champions. We actually like got to see like the UI and everything. People started complaining, as they do with Pokemon. Then we got another look at Legends EA. I feel like Legends EA's marketing was also pretty bad because they announced it like way too early with that CGI teaser, and then every time they showed Legends EA, it was just like, okay. Like that, I feel like I didn't really learn much new from any trailer for this game. I guess maybe this is the one that really showed off the ranking system. I don't know. Some side quests. Rogue Mega Evolution. Oh, this is where we finally learned about, Mega Dragonite here. Yeah. I mean, I said it earlier, but the Pokemon Presents are all very, very forgettable. Which I wish that was not the case. July 24th, Jamboree TV release. Already kind of talked about it. This sucks. This is the worst thing. Or the worst Switch 2 edition that Nintendo released this year, I would say. Then we got another partner showcase. It's crazy looking at all the dates lined out here because from June 5th, I mean, we basically had something every single week throughout the rest of the year. Like there was always something happening. Chris, you have not missed Dragon Drive. We're actually about to get there in like a few minutes. But first up, we have this partner showcase, which I thought was pretty good. This is another one of those things where I feel like oftentimes I watch a partner showcase or I watch like a state of play and I'm like, whoa, that was awesome. There were so many games announced. And then I go on Twitter and everybody's like, that was the worst showcase of all time. And I'm like, come on, man. Let me see here. This said Monster Hunter Rise 3. Not for me, probably, but like a very cool announcement. I would like to play those. Once Upon a Katamari. Sparking Zero Switch 2 port. Plants vs. Zombies. Awesome. Pac-Man World 2. I think we had already maybe seen Tactics at this point, but I mean, that's one of my favorite games of the year. Persona 3 Reload finally announced for Switch 2. Another teaser for Age of Imprisonment. Chillin' by the Fire, obviously. Game of the decade right here. Apex and Switch 2. Star Wars Outlaws. Chronos, this was a big surprise. No one expected this to get a port so early. Kiwami 2 and Kiwami 1. Like, I thought this is a pretty good partner showcase. And then it ended on one of my most anticipated games of 2026, Adventures of Elliot, as well as Octopath Zero. I mean, I don't know if you guys have played the demo for this Elliot game. It is a 2D Zelda game, and it is awesome. I love this demo. I cannot wait for the full game. I hope this is earlier in the year, next year, like first half. I cannot wait for this. This is up there with like Resident Evil and Pragmata and Onimusha for me as most anticipated games for next year. And then obviously Octopath Zero, which they actually ended on. Once again, unfortunately, do not have the time to play it, I don't think. Eventually, maybe I'll get to it. But everything I've heard about Octopath Zero is that it's very good. Oh, I've seen some people say it's the best Octopath game. Got very good review scores. Reviewed better than Prime 4. Worth noting, because they came out on the same day. So I don't know. I guess if you really don't like Square Enix games, I guess, then maybe this wasn't that good of a direct. But between that, Octopath Zero, Adventures of Elliot, Monster Hunter Stories, Once Upon a Katamari, Sparking Zero Port, Persona 3. Like, I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of good stuff in this direct, is what I'm trying to say here. But people, of course, with every direct, people are upset now. We got an Indie World on August 7th. I don't know. I think this opened on Mina, didn't it? Yeah, it opened on Mina the Hollower. We got a release date here. Yeah, October 31st. Let's go. And obviously now it's December, so what did you all think of Mina the Hollower? Now that the game is out, finally. This is this is a poorly aged opener. Now you just go on the eShop, Mina the Hollower says October 30th, 2025. Yeah, I don't know. Content warning, Switch 2. To be honest, half the time I don't even really watch these indie worlds. UFO 50. It's fine. Sure. Oh yeah, that was like pre-Silk Song being back, I think. Like it was like right around that time when we got the announcement. Then we have Dragon Drive. We'll be ranking this game, so I'll save my full thoughts. This released on August 14th, and I think it's not so good. I played a lot of Dragon Drive, and it has kind of cool ideas, maybe, but not for me. I don't think. Did not enjoy my time with Dragon Drive really whatsoever. Cool to see Nintendo doing weird new stuff. I just wish they maybe had some more personality in there for this one. Of course, iconically, me and my friends at PAX West were all wearing Dragon Drive shirts. Dragging me down, driving me crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk more about this game when we start ranking everything in a little bit. After that, we got a Kirby Air Riders Direct. We can kind of just talk about both of them because there was another one in October. These were both good, but I feel like the theme with a lot of Nintendo games this year was like, aside from maybe Bonanza, we saw it, it was revealed, we saw it, and it was exactly what you expect. And it's like, oh, cool, it's all that. The second direct, I think, was better, where they showed like the road trip and they showed like all the marketplace and how you can customize all your machines and stuff. I'm not saying this was a bad presentation. It was a good presentation, but it's just like, okay, it's Kirby Air Ride, you know? I think the roster is good, Connor. I love that you can put the hats on the characters. City Trial. After that, we got My Mario, which I don't even know. What do I have linked here? That's my own video talking about it. This is weird, man. And I mean, they're still going with it, with all the different little baby toys and stuff. These are amiibo, cute plushies, kind of like a precursor to our anniversary stuff in the direct, but nothing too crazy for My Mario. I know Dan's a huge My Mario fan. People thinking the first one was all the game had to offer, despite what Sakurai said in the same direct. Oh yeah, after the first direct, people were like, no, there's nothing else, even though at the end of it there was a tease for something more. Connor, you have to admit Elfilin should be in the game. You have to admit that. Of course, then we got a September 12th Nintendo Direct. The first thing they revealed is the Mario Galaxy movie. I wish this hadn't leaked. If you remember on Twitter, we found out the name was the Mario Galaxy movie like right before. That was disappointing. But the actual title, reveal of it, very cool. Hey, I don't like Road Trip either, Dan. But there was more to the game, to be fair. Galaxy 1 and 2. The direct that didn't even have Star Force Collection in it. Yeah, that was weird. It was just like it was announced on Twitter, or like was it in the Japanese direct maybe? That was really weird. We got Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. We'll talk more about these. Fine, I guess. Whatever. Mario Tennis Fever announced for February 12th. We got the babies. I think this game looks pretty good, but not like the most exciting thing in the world. You know, I think I'm gonna have fun with this. I like Mario Tennis Aces. But Mario sports games are always kind of like low stakes releases. It's not like this is like a big drop. You know, Yoshi is still yet to be revealed in the movie. That's actually so true, because that leaked on like the Old Spice or whatever, like the can of soup or something. Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition. We're still waiting on this one. I love Mario Wonder. I hope this Bella Bell Park multiplayer stuff is good, but also, I mean, they tease some more single player content as well. I really hope this ends up being like the best Switch 2 edition. I really, really hope this ends up being like more than the other ones. Also, hold up. I just realized we skipped something. I'm so sorry, Connor. We skipped the release of Kirby Forgotten Land Starcross World. I'll talk about this game when we rank them all, but I actually missed the release of this because it came out like right before PAX. So I did not play it until this past week, actually. But this did finally release at the end of August as well. And Forgotten Land is awesome. The 4K patch for it, or whatever it is, looks very good. The resolution bump. Game is very beautiful. I do love Forgotten Land. So happy to see it get a Switch 2 patch. People are gonna hate Bella Bell Park because they don't have friends. That's so real. That's so real. Do we know if we can play these online yet? I would assume you can, because you can play everything else online. Sure. Then we got Yoshi. So waiting to see more on this. This is gonna be the best 7 out of 10 you'll play next year, you know? Like, this game's gonna be fun. You're gonna have a good time with it. And then you're never gonna think about it again. I just feel like I would love to be wrong, and I hope Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which is an awesome title. I mean, it's a mysterious book. Like, I'm so intrigued. I would love to be wrong, and I hope this game is a Game of the Year masterpiece. But I don't know. I have an expectation with Yoshi games that I'm gonna enjoy my time with it, and then I'm gonna move on. You know. But this game looks like, visually, I really love the art style. They're doing some more like physics looking stuff. More puzzle focused design for the gameplay. It looks cool. But I would not say I'm like super excited for it. Crafted World is so bad. I think Crafted World is the second best Yoshi game. I would say it's SNES, then Crafted World, then Woolly World. And then nothing else is good. No, Yoshi's Island DS is fine. And I haven't played New Island since it came out, but I remember really not liking it. See, Dan, you're just trying to rile me up saying Crafted World is bad. That's an underrated gem. Of course, we had the announcement of Dinkum for Nintendo Switch. I know Dan's a big fan of this one as well. Tomodachi Life showed it again, but still no release date, just 2026. I think they actually say spring 2026 here. Yeah, spring 2026. Oh yeah, Yoshi's Story's fine. I mean, I played that growing up. I'm nostalgic for it. I don't know if I would say it's like better than the other games, but it's cute. Very weird game. I like the music. This awful Mortal Kombat collection, 7 Remake, Hades 2. Oh yeah, this is when we found out the date for this game. Good lord. September we were eaten. 2 Game of the Year contenders in the same month, right? Yeah. Were there any other months like that this year? I assume they didn't show Animal Crossing here because of Tomodachi Life. I think they didn't show it here because they just wanted to have Animal Crossing be its own, like... I mean, that was like an 8-minute trailer they did for that game, right? So, I think they just wanted to make it its own thing. We finally got a release date for Age of Imprisonment here. I don't know if you guys remember, like, leading up to this Direct, we had nothing. We had no dates. We knew all these games were coming at some point, but I remember people were telling me, like, dude, Hyrule Warriors is coming out in 2026. You're crazy if you think it's coming out in November. And I'm like, you want to bet? And there it was. This is a cool reveal. I cannot wait for this one. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I've never played DQ7. Kind of a newer Dragon Quest fan. Overall, I suppose, in terms of like the mainline stuff, but this looks really cool. Coming out soon too, in the beginning of February. So that was a big reveal here. Virtual Boy. I don't think anybody expected this. I did lock in my pre-order for the Virtual Boy recently. Yeah, Connor, the roster's fine. I'm excited to play Teleroad Boxer and Mario Tennis and all the. I'm excited to play all these games for 5 minutes. I have always wanted to play Jack Bros though. I have always wanted to play that. That was the first Megami Tensei game, right, in America. First one to get localized. I will say, because I have played with a real Virtual Boy before. Galactic Pinball goes hard. If you have not played a Virtual Boy before, I recommend Galactic Pinball. Well, it goes hard on like the Virtual Boy scale, which is like not a very big scale. It's like, oh, okay, this is fun for like maybe 10 minutes instead of 5. I haven't played 3D Tetris. Yeah, I've heard good things about Wario Lands. That's when I just didn't even want to start because I was like, I'm not gonna do a full playthrough of this right now. But I have heard that Wario Land's good. I'll finally actually play through that fully. I can believe that, Connor. I can believe that we got themes for Kirby. Is this where Fatal Frame was announced? I've never played a Fatal Frame, but I intend to start with this one. This would be a fun stream game, maybe. Little spooky photography game. Remake looks good. I've heard Fatal Frame 2 is... I think Fatal Frame 2 is like one of the fan favorites, right? This is the best one? Yeah. I played a little bit of Maiden of Blackwater because it was on Wii U. Nintendo published it, but I was like 15 or whatever. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, I don't care. Because they had like a free trial for it on the eShop. So I played the free trial, and then I was like, okay, pay up. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Overcooked, Stardew Valley, One Piece Pirate Warriors. This game's really ugly. I bought the Switch 2 up version, and I was like, wow, this game's really ugly. I think that's just like how it looks, you know? But it's really not an eye pleaser. Suika Game Planet. This just came out on the Japanese eShop. I need to download this. Big Suika Game household here. Olivia loves Suika. She has like 60 hours, and I think I have like 30 hours in Suika Game in the first one. So I need to download this new one. Oh, that's out. Then we got maybe the most controversial Metroid Prime 4 trailer ever made. The one that revealed the bike, the one that revealed the desert. This is where like I flip, because I was always like not super on board with Prime 4. I don't like Prime that much. I love 2D Metroid, but you all know the story. But this is the trailer where I was like, oh cool, they're actually doing something unique here. They're doing something different. They have this cool bike, they have this cool open world. Maybe they're gonna do something unique with this game. But this is when all like the diehard Metroid Prime fans started switching up on it, being like, oh, this isn't what we want. And for good reason. I was trying to have an open mind, be like, okay, let's let Retro cook. Maybe the desert's gonna be fire. Maybe the bike's gonna be fire. Yeah, we all know how that went. I mean, we'll talk about Prime 4 more, obviously. The reaction to this game, I think it's not that good of a game. Like, I think it's fine. Like, I think in my review I said like a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7. I do think people are being a little over the top with like their hatred towards it. I guess expectations were just so high for a lot of people that it hurt them even more, maybe. Or it's just, you know, the same song and dance with everything now of people that don't even play the games hating on it, which is probably also true. 6-7. Did I say 6-7? Oh man. All right, well that's the end of the stream. Sorry guys. I can't carry on. Oh, and then we got the Emerald Rush DLC. Yeah, I played this DLC for like 30 minutes. $20. It's not very good. I wish DK Island had just been there and it had separate bananas and that had been it, and that was just in the base game or like a free update or something. I don't love the obsession Nintendo has with these roguelike modes. I'm not into it. I like Side Order. Like I did enjoy Side Order for what it was. Just like Odyssey. Yeah, DK Island should have been Mushroom Kingdom. Or, I mean, honestly, even if it was just Balloon World. I liked Balloon World. It was a free update, and maybe that made me like it more. But I thought Balloon World was a lot of fun. It made me really think about the movement in that game. And maybe Emerald Rush would do that if I gave it more of a chance. But like, I don't care about getting these statues. I know, Dan, you're in the chat. You've been like doing there's like limited timed events to get special Kongs and stuff, and it's like that's cool, I guess. But like, I don't know. I will say, people keep saying this is cut content. This is clearly not cut content. You think that this completely separate roguelike mode was going to be in the base game and then they decided to sell it separately. No, dude, this was clearly like developed with the intent of selling it. This was never going to be in the base game. Maybe DK Island could have potentially been cut and then repurposed or something, but this is very much a separate thing that they had intended to sell, at least in my opinion. We got our Pocopia reveal. I have mixed feelings on this game. I think it could be really awesome, but it doesn't look like there's combat, and that's really worrying me. And then we got that trailer in November, and I feel like that didn't really move the needle much for me either. It's like, okay. It's the same thing of all these other games where like they keep showing it. I'm just like, okay. Is there anything else going on here? I really, really hope this game hits and I put, 200 hours in it because I love Dragon Quest Builders. 2 specifically. I mean, one's fine as well. And the idea of a Pokemon cozy game like this just sounds very appealing. I just hope there's more to it than just building out your little town. I mean, they show, at least they showed in the new trailer. We won't watch it here, but they showed like you exploring. But like, why though? Is it just for materials? Is there like quests? I guess there's the requests from the Pokemon that you're doing. I am a bit skeptical, but I am also hopeful of this game because I think this game could be huge for me in terms of like really enjoying it and putting a lot of time into it. Great timing also. It comes out like a couple days after the Pokemon anniversary. Whenever every Pokemon day I go through a phase of like Pokemon hype and I start playing every Pokemon game ever made. This being a key card was deeply upsetting to me. Yeah, I made a video on that on its amiibo. I can't believe that, You all know my stance on key cards, but the fact that we're getting a first-party Nintendo game on a key card, like, I mean, I went over my theories in that video when it happened, but it is weird that they're doing a key card for this game, and definitely a bad sign in general for those that don't want key cards. Then they showed some more Legends EA. I think that's where we got the megas for the starters, yeah. Oh, and they announced the $30 DLC, and they didn't even show it. So that was a good reveal there. Dynasty Warriors Origins for Switch 2. Requiem getting announced was huge. I'm gonna play this on PS5 probably, but like the fact that we're getting the day and date new Resident Evil, I mean that's crazy. Danganronpa 4 is so exciting. If only it was actually that. And then they closed on Fortune's Weave, which I think was not so great for a lot of people. For me, it was so great because I love Fire Emblem. And I'm a big fan of Engage. And I like Engage, and Three Houses is fine as well. And this is, I mean, clearly it's a Three Houses sequel or prequel or something. I trust Intelligent Systems. I think this is going to be one of my favorite games next year. But I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. And I know a lot of people were hoping for that like big 2026 game. And like this will be big, but not on the scale people are looking for, So I'm excited for it. But I can understand some people being a little disappointed with this as a closer. The fact I can play RE9 and Pragmata day one on my Switch is so exciting. Yeah, Pragmata especially being day one. Like that's the one I really didn't expect. Because like for a long time I thought Pragmata was going to be a PS5 exclusive because it was announced at the PS5 reveal in 2020. That was so long ago. And here we are. It's coming to Switch 2 day and date with a Pragmata Diana amiibo. Crazy. Would have never put that on a prediction sheet, What else? We'll start going through these a little bit faster. I put this here just because this is relevant to the year of Nintendo, right? Doug Bowser retiring, kind of unexpected. He couldn't take the heat, bro. He was like, "Nah, I'm good." He was president for what, 6 years? And then out of nowhere, he's retiring. Godspeed to him. I hope he enjoys his retirement. Where's my Leon amiibo? You're getting your Leon amiibo. You're getting a 2-pack with Grace and Leon. That is 100% happening. Think about it. They announced that we're getting a Grace Ashcroft amiibo, and they didn't show it. But then they announced a Pragmata amiibo, and they showed it, and it's up for pre-order right now on Amazon Japan. That's weird. They didn't show Grace because they're going to reveal it as a 2-pack. I would put money on that. And I cannot wait. This is one I actually didn't really play that much. Galaxy 1 and 2. This didn't do much for me. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I played these games not that long ago. Or at least Galaxy 1 anyway. I'm glad they're on Switch 2. Or on Switch 1 and Switch 2 with a little patch. But, I don't know. Pretty basic remasters. Who in chat played these? Of course, I mean, maybe we're glossing over all the controversies that each game had, but this also had a controversy of being $70. Which, like, yeah, that just looks bad. But also, if they had just came out with Galaxy 2 for $40, which is what you can pay for it on the eShop, I don't think people would have been that upset. It's the fact that there was like a 2-pack and there was at any point a thing that says Galaxy 1 and 2 for $70. If it was just Galaxy 2 for $40, I think people would have been fine. Playing Galaxy 2 as you watch me stream, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy they're on Switch 2. I'm excited to play Galaxy 2 again eventually. I haven't played it since it came to Wii U, Virtual Console or whatever. But at the time of release, I wasn't really feeling it. I played a little bit of Galaxy 1, and I was like, okay, it's Galaxy 1. You know? Be revisiting for 100% closer to the movie. Yeah, maybe that's when I'll do Galaxy 2, leading up to the movie or something. That could be a fun stream. Got to keep that in mind. Write that down. I've never 100%ed these, because don't you have to, like, also do it as Luigi or something? I've never done that for these games. Now this, I don't know if I can show this. I remember there was like a whole thing with Nintendo like taking it down. I actually never covered any of this stuff in videos because I was like, I don't really care. People were losing their minds over these baby teasers. I'm not going to play it once again. I think Nintendo does take these down if you show it. But there was this whole madness over the course of like a week of this little Pikmin teaser, but the Pikmin were invisible, so people thought, oh, they're teasing a new 3 Mario, they're teasing something. But the reality was it was just a little Pikmin short film from Nintendo Pictures. And it was obviously Pikmin. If you've played Pikmin and you listen to it, I won't play it because it's not even sound anyway. It was obviously Pikmin noises. Like it was like the same sound font or whatever. And people were losing their minds and they're crafting these crazy theories of like what game it's gonna be. And I'm like, bro, it's just a baby. It's clearly not like a game or anything. It's just, yes, people thought it was Rosalina because the baby's wearing blue. And like they thought like, oh, they're doing stuff with their minds. They're like powerful. I don't know. Now to be fair, we did get a Pikmin 4 update. When was that announced? Was that just announced on Twitter one day? Kirby shorts like Pikmin? Yeah, we should get some Kirby shorts from Nintendo Pictures. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was weird. I just didn't even partake in it, to be honest. Like, I was watching the teasers as they came out, but like, I wasn't like getting hyped up about it. And I think Arlo, yeah, Arlo was like freaking out about these, wasn't he? I'm like, God, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm glad I didn't cover it because I know they took down all the videos, or at least they demonetized them. So, whatever. October 16th, Legends ZA releases. Is it safe to say this was a disaster? Not because the game's bad, mind you. I like Legends ZA quite a bit. I had a great time with this game. But this, I feel like, is when it all kind of came to a boiling point with the discussion around Nintendo Online. This was like it was the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. And everything got so bad when this game released in terms of like the negative discussion around Nintendo and all these like negativity YouTubers, which I did a video on back around the time this game came out. Cause I did my videos. I was like, yeah, I like the game. I remember I did a review where I was like, yeah, this game has a lot of issues, but I still had a good time with it. I'm a big Pokemon fan. Of course I'm going to like it. And that video, I think it's my most disliked video. And it was just me being like, yeah, I like the game. You know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. There are definitely issues with it, but good Lord. Like the way people were talking about Legends ZA, you would think that Miyamoto personally came and like hurt them or something. Like it was crazy. It's just like, I don't know. obviously we're doing a stream right now. We're talking about Nintendo. We all love talking about games, discussing games, listening to games discussion, all that stuff. Um, but at a certain point, it's like if you're that upset about it or you're so angry about it, it's like literally just log off. Maybe that's not completely valid because it's like, yes, things do need to be criticized, but if you're getting that pressed, just log off. You know, it was crazy. Got told that since I like this game, it was obvious I've never played a Pokemon game before. I like this game more than Scarlet and Violet. I don't like it more than Legends Arceus, though. Arceus, I think this game does a lot of stuff better than Arceus, but the core element that I love about Pokemon is the catching of the Pokemon, and Arceus definitely does that better. Pokemon is the best 7 out of 10 Switch 2 game. I would probably give it an 8. But, you know, once again, understanding that, yeah, there are definitely issues. I like the online mode. I haven't played it since the game came out, really, or since like the second. Well, what was the second? Because they did Greninja first, and it was it Delphoxite. To me, like the more I've like sat on it and thought about this game, my experience with it, everybody's freaking out about the graphics. And like I understand, you look at the window texture, and it's like, oh, it looks bad. But I feel like the bigger issue with it is more like maybe gameplay design and like the structure of the story and how you're just doing all these megas over and over. Like that's maybe a bigger issue, but it's not even what people were focusing on with all the hatred for it. It was just the graphics. I think it looks fine. I don't know. I enjoyed it overall though. As you'll see when we get to the ranking in a few minutes. It is one of my favorite games they released this year, but also I think in like a much better year it'd be a little bit lower. Because also I still need to do my like top 10 games of the year, not just being Nintendo or counting Nintendo. And I think even then it'd probably be like 6th on my list or something like that, lower half of the list, or maybe even lower than that actually. Kirby Air Riders Direct. We already kind of talked about Kirby Air Riders. Don't need to do it again. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, November 6th. I love this game. I was so down on like when it was announced and like before it was announced, I was like, I do not want another Hyrule Warriors game. I really didn't want one. And even having played this game and liking it, I still wish we got something else, be it a bigger crossover Zelda game or Xenoblade Warriors. But I gotta give Koei Tecmo props where props is due. This game's a lot of fun. I come from a Warriors background. I enjoy Warriors. One of my favorite games of the year is Dynasty Warriors Origins, and I think that game's better than this. But this, I think, is significantly better than Age of Calamity. I put a lot of. I think I put like 35 hours into this, 40 hours into it. Like I put a lot of time into Age of Imprisonment. And yeah, it gets repetitive. That is the Warriors' nature, and I totally understand a lot of people don't like that. And maybe the story isn't the most interesting because it's a prequel. But also that's exactly what people were upset about with Age of Calamity and how it's a prequel, but then they changed the ending. It's like, well, we got what we were complaining about, right? We got the canon story. Of course, they do a little bit of, you know, they put Calamo in there. He's not just a traveler. You got the mysterious construct. But I think this game's awesome. The updates have been weird. I haven't tried out any of the updates yet. I know they added like a new difficulty or something and some new challenge maps, but where's my playable Ganondorf? How is that not in the game yet? I don't know. It's weird. And also like the way they just put all these random NPCs in the game, like I was so skeptical of that, and like ultimately I still think it's kind of lame, but also it does kind of give this game its own flair and like own personality of like, okay, well this is really the only time we've gotten to spend time with the champions even. Not even talking about like the unique characters they added for this game. So I think as a companion piece to Tears of the Kingdom, this is significantly better than Age of Calamity was to Breath of the Wild. What are their names, Bo? You're talking about the champions? I have no idea. I played this game like a month and a half ago. You think I remember their names? You're tripping. Galaxy Movie Direct, I don't think we need to talk about that too much. That was, of course, the reveal of Brie Larson, Rosalina, and Benny Safdie, Bowser Jr. I've been seeing that Mario trailer a lot in theaters recently. And I've come to the conclusion that although I do like Benny Safdie, I hate his voice as Bowser Jr. I keep seeing that trailer before movies. I saw it last night before Fire and Ash, and I was like, oh my god. Bowser Jr. should not sound like that. Fantasy Life, I will have a major update around Christmas. Is that confirmed? I haven't played it since like the week it came out. I need to get back to it. But I that week I played it. Very, very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable indeed. November 20th, we had Kirby Air Riders. I feel like this is like the most you love it or you completely hate it game they released this year, maybe. Like, I've seen people say this is their favorite game of the past 5 years for Nintendo. I've seen people say they hate this game. I guess I'm kind of in the middle on that. Like, I think it's fine. I don't think it's better than Mario Kart World. I had fun with it, but I don't really feel much desire to go back, as I said in my review. But it's good. You know, it's in terms of what a Kirby Air Rider sequel was going to be, I would say they did a perfect job. But I just didn't feel much desire to keep playing it. I don't know. I do love Kirby though. This game reminded me I don't love Air Ride. Yeah, I was hoping to enjoy the Air Ride mode more, but I didn't. I did end up playing City Trial more than anything else. And even, I mean, Top Ride's fun too. I get Road Trip was a big disappointment. I really did not like Road Trip. It's so repetitive. Which I guess that kind of like killed a lot of the momentum for me in terms of playing more of it, because I like 100%ing games. I like the checklists, and obviously this game has a lot of big checklists. But then I play Road Trip, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to play this, and I'm like, okay, I'm just done. Which might be stupid, but good roster. I love all the customization. There's a lot of great stuff about this game. There's a lot of content, but I somehow wish there was a little bit more, like something more, like some sort of like a leveling system maybe, or something. I don't know. I've seen some people say like they've been having trouble finding matches recently in my server. I don't know if that's because the servers are not very active or if there's something wrong with like the connection or something. But I have heard some issues with the servers recently for this game. And then the final stop on our trip here, I believe, is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which of course had its own whole bag of controversies. I still feel like I'm seeing it, actually. This one's lasted a while. I still see people talking about this game on Twitter, either defending it like their life depends on it, or saying it's the worst game ever made. I don't think it's the worst game ever made. I don't think it's the worst game Nintendo released this year. I don't think it's the best game Nintendo releases here. Dan Power, we're not talking about we're not talking about Mega Dimension. We don't do that here. There's nothing to say. Mega Dimension bunk. I haven't played it. But Metroid Prime 4, you know, I think even to the most diehard Metroid fan was in some capacity disappointing. Now, when I say that, I don't mean, oh, the game is horrible. I just mean, I think even like I've seen like diehard Metroid Prime fans being like, yeah, it's great, but we had 8 years of build up and people were waiting on it for so long. And I think people were expecting the second coming of Jesus with this game, you know, and it just ended up being, to a lot of people, the worst Metroid Prime game, which is still good to a lot of people. But for me personally, as someone who doesn't even like Metroid Prime 1, then I mean, you know, it's fine. I think it does a lot of cool stuff. I mean, graphically, I think this game is awesome. I love like the art direction and like art design. Specifically Volt Forge, I think is just completely beautiful. But even Ice Belt here, like there's a lot of cool stuff in this game. And I hope, and I believe they're doing this. I hope Prime 5 really just hones in. They lock in, they take the feedback from this game and do something way better next time with what they've learned, and, you know, reusing some assets if they have to, get it out a little bit faster, please. Soul Valley, definitely a miss for sure. But also, I think Soul Valley, not as bad as people say. The NPC is not my issue with the game. My issues are more with like the actual level design and everything. So maybe not the big 10 out of 10 release everybody was hoping it would be, but I mean, it has like what, an 80 on Metacritic, I think. Like, it's fine. It's a good to great game by most accounts. Just a lot of weird design decisions like this. the freaking green crystal backtracking at the end there. Weird. But that's 2025. If you all had to give Nintendo a score, let's say a score on a 1 to 10 for their entire year, taking in all the announcements, all the video game releases, all of the controversies, what would you give Nintendo's score in 2025? I think going into this year, we all thought it was going to be so amazing because of the Switch 2, and certainly the Switch 2 was awesome. I love the Switch 2. But I would say not quite as good as I was hoping. I would say probably an 8 out of 10. I think I agree with Lazy Muffin here. And Anonymous Beaver. I think 8, like it was a very good year. But nothing that completely like blew me away. Even games that I really thought were going to, like a Mario Kart World or like a Bonanza, I have issues with both of those games. I don't think any game they released this year, except for, well, we'll talk about Dragon Drive, is like truly terrible. But nothing like completely blew me away, right? 2023 had some crazy stuff in it, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Wonder, Pikmin 4, Future Redeemed. 2024 was an off year. But then 2024 we thought was an off year because this year was going to be so big, so crazy. And the games we got this year should have been that, I feel like. Mario Kart World, Bonanza, even Prime 4. Like, these should have been the big crazy games that we had been waiting for. But it wasn't quite that. And then when you compare this year to 2017 for the Switch, obviously that 2017 had 3 more months of time to get games out. I just don't think it's close, to be honest. You had Breath of the Wild, which is better than anything that came out this year on Switch 2. You had Splatoon 2, which was still pretty fresh at the time as a new IP. ARMS even. If you're comparing ARMS to Dragon Drive, I mean, come on. Mario Rabbids crazy new crossover that was actually like really high quality. Xenoblade 2, I mean, that's the best game ever made, obviously, as we all know. Fire Emblem Warriors, pretty analog to Hyrule Warriors, although Age of Imprisonment's better. And then Odyssey, arguably the best 3D Mario. I don't know if I would go that far. I'm a Mario 64 guy. This year felt a little off, I guess, compared to that. We got Kirby Air Riders. We got Pokemon Legends EA, not even like the next. I mean, we got a Pokemon game in year 1. That in and of itself is awesome. But also it's Legends EA. It's not like the next generation. It's kind of like this weird side series. I know it's not a spinoff, whatever. It was a good year. Perhaps even a great year. But not the year, I think, I was expecting going into it before we even saw the reveal of the Switch 2. And then you have stuff like if we're grading it, if we're really taking like the weight of like the controversies and the discussion around Nintendo, you probably bump it down to a 7. I've talked a lot about game key cards. I don't mind them as much as most people, but that is pretty bad. Like if you really don't like game key cards, I can understand like really that would impact your year for Nintendo, Do you think 2026 will be a huge year for game releases for Switch 2? I think in terms of first party, it's going to be honestly pretty similar to this year based on what we've seen announced so far. A lot of like smaller Nintendo franchises, and then we'll get some big stuff announced. I think for third parties, though, it's going to be huge. Obviously, Capcom's all in. I think we'll see Onimusha come. I would bet the only major game we won't get on Switch 2 next year is GTA 6. Because I think we'll get Call of Duty next year on Switch 2. We'll get some Star Wars games, whatever the current big AAA game is, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 7, whatever. I think most third-party games will come to Switch 2 next year. Except for maybe GTA 6. And then from Nintendo, we'll just have to wait and see what they actually have for that second half. Kirby for this year would be perfect if that Triple Deluxe and Planet Robot pack happened for both Switch and Switch 2. I don't know if we needed three Kirby games this year, Connor. Even 2 was kind of weird. So close together. Yeah, Brawls, dude. I saw a post this morning, actually, of someone, it was I think I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. People were talking about how bad the lineup is. And I'm just like, y'all weren't there for the Wii U generation. If you're comparing it to Wii U, you weren't there. Be that first party or third party, but maybe even especially third party. The third party support on this console is the best we've seen from Nintendo, probably since the SNES. Control Resonant, I think that's probable. We got Control Cloud version on Switch 1. I bet we get a Control port announced in the next Direct, and then Control Resonant day and date in the second half of the year. and that'll be cool. Gen 10 is a done deal for 2026, or possible gets delayed. I think it's a done deal. It's the 30th anniversary. They're not skipping that. Because by delaying Legends EA a year, Gen 10 also did get delayed a year, you know? Yeah, we got all the sports games. We got Madden on Nintendo again. That's crazy. What else? 007 is on Switch 2. The interesting thing is right now, like, there's not much third-party games announced that are dated for 2026, but the ones that are dated are coming to Switch 2. So Resident Evil, Pragmata, 007, Lego Batman, which, I mean, obviously. Is there anything really missing? I'm sure there are, but, like, is there, like, a big third-party February game that's missing? Dragon Quest VII, Yakuza 3. I feel like most of what we have announced for 2026 are already confirmed for Switch 2. And I think that'll continue throughout the rest of the year with, like, Control Resonant, whatever AC4 Black Flag remake is rumored, right? Lego Batman's just Switch 2, I think. 2K25 Peak on Switch 2. I actually bought a code for that. I bought the code in box because it was like $15 on Amazon. I haven't redeemed it yet. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, Crimson Desert not coming to Switch. Good pull. Yeah, that one's not, but I mean that one's rumored, so we'll see. I mean, I doubt it would be day and date, but there's been talk of that. Maybe we'll end up getting like an Expedition port next year. And well, I say maybe. I mean, come on, that's definitely happening. that's such a lock for the next direct. I feel like 7 remake port happening. I bet we get Rebirth at some point next year, and then they'll announce part 3. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, and then the only things that aren't coming, like that, I would say are more consequential, like Saros isn't, you know. Witcher 4, there's no way that's coming out next year. That's got to be like 2027 or 2028, right? Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate. I just realized I keep showing the I'm just showing the Prime 4 trailer over and over. Trials in the Sky, yeah. I need to here. Let me pull up like a list of 2026 video games. Digimon and Metaphor. Yeah, I bet those will happen. Yeah, we'll rank in a second, Connor. I want to take a look here at this list of games real quick. So we got, I'm trying to see like what is missing from the Switch 2 lineup. Trails Beyond the Horizon coming, Dynasty Warriors, Final Fantasy, Rumble Fist, whatever. Dispatch coming, happening. The 7 Deadly Sins game is missing it. Code Vein 2 is skipping Switch 2. I bet that could get a port later. My Hero All Justice is missing. That's weird. That feels like an obvious one to get a Switch 2 port on day and date. Romeo is a Dead Man. They've already talked about wanting to bring it to Switch 2 if they can. High on Life 2. I mean, most of this stuff is coming to Switch 2. Resident Evil, obviously. Fatal Frame. Monster Hunter Stories 3. Yeah, I'd say Crimson Desert is the first big game next year not coming to Switch 2, which is nuts. 007, Mega Man, Marathon, but that's a Sony game. Kind of weird. Although it is coming to Xbox, so maybe. Maybe we'll get a Switch 2 port of that. Kind of doubt it. Diablo 4 expansion. I think Diablo 4 will, honestly, lock it in. Diablo 4 is releasing on Switch 2 this day. They'll announce it out of Direct in February, and it'll come out on April 28th on Switch 2, alongside the DLC. Lock it in. Lego Batman. So yeah, I mean, most of what we have dated already confirmed for Switch 2. And we'll see what else gets announced here. Bubsy, already confirmed. Control. We need like that Plague Tale game that's coming out next year. Directive 8020. That's crazy. I guess one of the bigger things we would need to start seeing more of next year is day-and-date Xbox stuff. So like Fable, Gears of War E-Day, Forza Horizon 6. Those would be the bigger things that are missing from the Switch 2 lineup. But other than that, I mean, Halo Combat Evolved. Other than that, though, there's not too much missing out. Metaphor and E33 getting Switch 2 ports. It'll happen. I bet Expedition 33 I think will happen first, and then Metaphor maybe like next holiday, right? Around the same time that Persona 3 happened. Switch 2 has bad third-party support. Yeah, I can't take anybody seriously who says that. Like, what are we doing? But all the ports are old. Well, yeah, we're getting old ports, but we're also getting all the new stuff. Onimusha. This is almost certainly happening, right? We're getting all these other RE Engine games on Switch 2. I was surprised this wasn't at the Game Awards. I bet this will be announced for Switch 2, and I bet we get an amiibo for Onimusha. If Pragmata is getting an amiibo, we're getting an Onimusha amiibo, which will be awesome. Pal World. Where's the Pal World Switch 2 port? Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Sure. That'll probably happen. God, shout out to New World of Steam, dude. That game's never releasing. Switch 2, which will sell an unbelievable 20 million systems by the end of March 2026, is a commercial failure. You're so right. Yeah, Capcom's going all in. I was actually, because I made that short on Star Force Legacy Collection. The first half of 2026 is crazy for them, specifically in regards to Switch 2. So in February, from Capcom, we're getting 7, 8, and 9 on Switch 2, but also 9 is releasing for the first time. Then on March 13th, so 2 weeks later, you get Monster Hunter Stories 3 on all platforms. And then 2 weeks from that, you get the Star Force Legacy Collection. And then a month later, you get Pragmata. And I bet Onimusha slots in not too long after when we get a release date for that. So Capcom, cooking in 2026. Not even just on Nintendo. I mean, obviously, it's great that they're there. But just in general, like, Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, Onimusha, like, those are probably my 3 most anticipated games of next year. I played Pragmata at PAX West, and it was awesome. I know there's that demo out now, so I'm sure some of you have played it, but don't be sleeping on Pragmata. That game's awesome. Telling you. Okay. I think it's time. I think it's time to start making people angry. I actually made a tier list. So here's what we're going to do. I made a tier maker thing. Put all the images in. I'm going to post this in the chat. If you would like to join the Discord and share your tier lists with the community, feel free to do so. It'd be cool. It'd also be cool to have you in there. Look at a presentation mode. Oh, God. 0 seconds in and I already disagree. Let me zoom this in a little bit. Just look. There is a chance I cut this into like just a regular video and upload it, so I'm going to make it look nice here. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to go in release order here. So maybe we'll start with some pretty low stakes stuff. We'll start with Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I think this is fine. Like, I think Country Returns is actually great. I think it's closer to the quality of Tropical Freeze than a lot of people think. Like, I don't think Tropical Freeze is some, amazing masterpiece in comparison to Returns. Like, I think they're pretty close, honestly. That being said, the port, not the best from Forever Entertainment, but also I did have fun playing it again. I'm happy it's on the Switch. It just feels like such a low stakes release. Not necessarily focusing on the port itself so much. I would say it's like a B tier. If you really linger on it being like not an amazing port or anything or do anything too revolutionary, maybe C tier. But I would put it at B. $60, maybe should have been 50 or something. But I would put that in B. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that is a good kind of middle ground. It's a great game, great game. Kind of a weird port, but also like, I don't know, it's fine, How do we feel about B for Country Returns, chat? I feel like that's fair. Also, I gotta do it right now. We gotta add an F tier. We got to do F tier. I think I just added 2 rows. Oh god, I added so many rows. What happened? What is happening? I gotta change the color of it here. We'll do pink? Sure. I haven't unsubscribed yet, so good. What way are we ranking these? I'm just ranking them based on my personal enjoyment of them. There's no like true objectivity here. I did also just erase D tier. So that's good. Why does it keep doing that? What's happening? I don't understand this new technology, this new tier making website technology. If I see Bonanza and A and Hyrule Warriors and S, I may or may not crash out. Well, Hyrule Warriors will be above Bonanza. I will tell you that. I think what's so weird about this year for me is like I don't think anything actually deserves S tier. Mario Kart should, if they didn't do the intermission stuff. Like if Mario Kart World didn't have the intermissions, it would be an easy S. But obviously that's an integral part of the design, which hampers it. There are other games I enjoyed more than Mario Kart World this year, but even then, I don't know if I would put those in S tier. You know, but we'll say B for Donkey Kong Country Returns, and then Xenoblade X. I don't really want to rank that because I didn't play it enough because of the timing that I mentioned. Based on my experience with it, I'd probably also give it a B tier, but I'm gonna leave that off. That's the one game I'm really gonna leave off this list, because I don't want to be unfair to it. I did not give it the full playthrough treatment. Seen a lot of people catch on that we added F tier for a specific game in the chat. So Xenoblade X we're skipping. What I guess would it just be the Switch 2 launch already? We're already on the Switch 2 launch. So we'll do Mario Kart World. I would give Mario Kart World an A tier. I think Mario Kart World is a very good game. Even with its issues, I still really enjoy it. But I do acknowledge those issues. I think intermissions just not what I want necessarily from a Mario Kart game. I do respect that they did something different with it to differentiate it from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is so incredible and has so much content. But I think what is really stopping Mario Kart World from being an S tier is we need some DLC. Once this game gets its updates and it's like done, end of life. Yeah, Metroid Jones said it in chat. It's going to be an S tier game in 2031. Like this is going to end up being an S tier. True S tier Mario Kart game, because like the new mechanics they added, I think are so good. It makes racing so much more fun, being able to hop on the rails and everything. I had a great time with it, even 100%ing it. I did all the P switches. I did everything in this game. I got all the stamps and all the different little icons and everything. Like I 100%ed Mario Kart World. I have like 80 hours in it. I haven't played it much since launch, but that's because, well, when you go online, you got to do intermissions, you know? And I don't want to really do that. What's the Knockout Tour? Knockout Tour is really fun as well. I think that's maybe what makes the intermissions even more frustrating for me is like, you already have Knockout Tour. You didn't need to make the other races also kind of like that in terms of the straightaways and everything. If this game just had 3 lap tracks racing online and then also Knockout Tour, it would be the perfect bowl of food. Like I would be so happy with Mario Kart World, but because I go online and I don't know if I'm going to get an intermission track or an actual 3 lap track like I'm used to in Mario Kart, it's just not the best experience. But it is still a great game. They made a great package. It's a great foundation for them to build upon. I think we'll get some sort of big Donkey Kong expansion DLC next year. And I think that'll really turn this game around quite a bit, to the point where I bet even in 6 months, I'd be willing to put it here. But right now, we got to let them improve a little bit. And honestly, now that I'm looking at this, I'm already thinking about moving stuff around. Maybe Donkey Kong's actually C tier. Maybe that's C tier. Yeah. I think that's C tier. If we're putting Mario Kart World in A tier, I would put Donkey Kong Country Returns in C tier, weighing in what it is as a port, a remaster, if you want to call it that, HD remaster. C tier at 60. Right, exactly. Like a lot of the issues with Mario Kart World, I mean, they're already doing a lot to fix it. There was a patch like a week ago that lets you actually do races with friends, but also with randoms. They added a checklist so you can see what P switches you've done and like count them on the map. They've been slowly doing a lot to fix it, but it's just like, why wasn't it launched with that stuff? You know, even like what was it in the most recent update? There's a setting for the sound now, but it's some weird Nintendo ass thing where it's like you can make it quiet or loud or whatever. It's not like an actual like volume slider. It's like why? You know? The soundtrack's fantastic though. I love the soundtrack. Maybe one of the best soundtracks of the year. Kind of surprised it wasn't nominated for best OST this year because it's not just remixes. There's a lot of great new songs in there as well as the remixes, and it's all like contextual to the map and everything. Like there's so much good about Mario Kart World, but I got to give it A tier. A for intermission. Next up, we have Welcome Tour. So we already talked about this a little bit. I do like Welcome Tour. However, I like it through the context of like, it's not that serious, right? This is just a little silly $10 eShop game. I don't think it's that high stakes, but for what it was for $10, I had fun with it, which is why it's an S tier. Obviously, it's an S tier. This is one of the best games Nintendo's ever made. It's the best EPD4 project we've ever had. I really learned a lot about the Switch 2 through this software, which is why I'm actually putting it in D tier. I think like I have nothing against Welcome Tour, but it's just a little instruction manual game, you know? Like, am I gonna rank it above Donkey Kong Country Returns? No, absolutely not. It's fine. I don't think there's really anything wrong with it. It's just Wii Play mini games. But if I was putting Wii Play on this ranking list, Wii Play, even though I enjoy Wii Play, I'd probably put it in C or D tier. It's just not. It's not a high profile release. It's just low stakes, you know. If you're a big Nintendo fan, I still recommend it at $10. If it was free on the Switch 2, would I put it higher? Probably not. You know, not even taking the pricing into the equation. Like, it is what it is. You know, I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just like, it's a Welcome Tour, man. This is because of the vibration game, isn't it? That vibration game gave me so much trouble for the gold medal. Like I struggled with that. But also there was one where like you have to angle the Switch 2 at a certain like angle with the kickstand. That one was pretty tough because I didn't have like a freaking protractor or anything to use it or to angle it, measure it with. I'd rather play Wii Party than Wii Play by a mile, and I do like Wii Play as well. I've only played Wii Party a couple times, but it was fun. Now we do have the 2 Zelda games here. Now this is why S tier exists. S tier exists for the Switch 1 games because Breath of the Wild is an S tier experience, and I think that Switch 2 patch makes it even more of an S tier experience. This I said it earlier. I think this might still be my favorite experience so far on the Switch 2. I had so much fun revisiting Breath of the Wild earlier this summer. The Switch 2 patch for this game, and I guess even though I haven't put too much time into the Tears patch, I'm also going to put that up there as well. These patches are so good. They're so good. The enhanced resolution, the better frame rate, it just makes some of my favorite games of all time run even better. Is it a little weird to be ranking these Switch 2 editions against the new actual releases? Maybe, but it is what it is, man. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, some of my favorite games of all time. They're going in S tier. I think these games are absolute masterpieces. They still hold up. I'm going to put Tears here. I guess we'll kind of order these, but if I replayed Tears fully on Switch 2, it'd be like that. But because I actually played Breath of the Wild on Switch 2 fully, I'm going to put that there. I mean, these games feel so good on the Switch 2. Like if you have not played them, oh my God. It's like I'm so happy for you, you know? On the one hand, I'm happy that I get to replay them again with this and you know, enhanced visuals and everything. On the other hand, I kind of wish I could experience these games like this for the first time. You know, they run like butter. Yeah. I would say these are the best Switch 2 editions also, I guess, spoiler alert. They don't really add anything new. Zelda Notes is kind of a throwaway edition. It's fine. You know, they add some achievements in the app. That's kind of cool. But not really moving the needle much. Zelda Notes, that is. But the actual performance boost for these games is beautiful. And they're free if you have Switch Online. So I didn't even have to pay for these, even though I did, because I did buy the physicals. This was your first time playing Tears, and whoa, buddy, was it good. I'm so happy for you. Tears of the Kingdom's so good. I feel like the conversation around that game is weird because some people just hate it, and they're like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. But then, like, Usually when I see people talk about it now, it's usually through the lens of like, actually, that's one of the best games ever made, and that makes me so happy because I've been saying that since day one. Um, a lot of people have kind of flip flopped on it, but I've been a true TOTK warrior for a while now. Held off on playing TOTK until I got a Switch 2. I mean, you made the I don't know if you made the right choice, but you certainly made a not a bad one, right? Being able to play that for the first time on Switch 2, I'm sure is magical. That game is so good. But that is our launch lineup. Oh god. We got to talk about Bonanza. Now, I think most people, you're watching this video, you're watching the stream, whatever. You're probably putting Bonanza at S tier. It's probably your favorite Nintendo game of the year, and I'm so happy for those people. I over time having 100% of Bonanza, I 100% of this game. I did everything in it. I've slowly just kind of like thought less and less of it over the months, to the point where I would put it in B tier. um, I think this game, like, there's a lot of great stuff about Bonanza, and maybe I'm being a little harsh. Maybe it is like just lower A tier, but Bonanza, like, there's something about the fundamental design. You know, a lot of people talking about like the Breath of the Wild open-ended level design of Bonanza, or you know, of Breath of the Wild being put into this Donkey Kong game. I feel like that really harmed my experience with it. Like, especially when seeing so many comparisons of Bonanza to other 3D Mario games because it is the same team. I don't think this game is anywhere close to that quality level. I don't think it's anywhere close because the level design fundamentally is nowhere near as important as it is in those games. The movement's fun. I love hopping on a rock, doing a little surf move. Like, it's good stuff. But the level design, because you can just blast your way through everything or just elephant suck everything, especially, it all feels very unbalanced. And to me, the beauty of a 3D Mario game, but even Odyssey, which has moons everywhere, there's still a certain path. There's still a way you got to get a moon. Even if you just see a moon sitting somewhere randomly, it's like, okay, I'm going to go get over there using my cool move set. For most of the moons, or most of the bananas in Bonanza, it's just smash your way down. I would say, how many bananas are there in this game? 1,000, or like you get 1,000, but it's actually like 890 or something, whatever it is. I would be willing to bet that like 300 of those you just randomly stumble upon while smashing through a mountain. So maybe I played the game wrong. Maybe I'll get slapped with the Doom Dark Ages, you control the buttons you press meme or whatever. But this game had too much freedom for me. I did not like the level of freedom that this game had. But there is a lot of great stuff there. The music's awesome. I think the ending is one of the best endings of any Nintendo game. I think the stuff they did there, I won't spoil what, but I mean, I'm sure you already know. Ending is phenomenal. And like the moveset, like I said, awesome. There's a lot of great stuff. But I think the core actual design of this game, fundamentally, I did not love. Voice acting's fun. I know a lot of people hate on the voice acting, but I actually thought, you know, hearing Pauline talk was kind of cool. The different Bonanzas also, like, Elephant Bonanza completely busted. I don't really know what they were thinking there. I mean, it's a single player game. It doesn't matter if it's busted, but also, like, it's so far and away the best Bonanza, it's just not even close. Especially if you're going for 100% like I was. Like, you just suck everything up. You erase the map. You get all the fossils without even thinking. So I completely understand people putting it S tier, putting it as their game of the year. I would put it in B tier though. I think I would give it, and I mean that's still like a 7.5 probably, right? Like 8 maybe. Has the quality level of like a top tier Nintendo game in terms of like the presentation and everything. I don't know. The further we get from that game's release, I just kind of think, eh. My opinion of it is not getting fonder as the days go on. It's only slipping even more and more. Odyssey and Bonanza are a bit too bloated. I haven't replayed Odyssey since it came out. And I 100% of that game as well. And I really enjoyed it. I'm curious if I would agree with you on like it feeling bloated as well. I think it took me maybe 60 hours to 100% it. So about the same length as Bonanza. But it's funny thinking about Odyssey because one of the main criticisms when that game came out was like the moons don't feel rewarding to get because there are just so many of them. But then Bonanza comes out and the bananas are way less rewarding to get than the moons in Odyssey because you just stumble upon them completely randomly. But I didn't see really anybody talking about that of like, oh, they're just they're not rewarding. It's like at least Odyssey, you have to kind of think about it a little bit. You got to do some cool platforming challenge. In this, I mean, you literally stumble upon them most of the time in this game. So yeah, I'd put it in B tier. Odyssey is still S tier anyway, maybe S minus because it goes a little too far. Where's my 300 Moon Edition? One final thing I'll say on Bonanza. I also don't feel any attachment whatsoever to really any of the worlds. Like I don't care about any of them, you know? Some of the best parts of like a 3D Mario game is like you're going to these specific galaxies in Mario Galaxy or you're doing the certain paintings in Mario 64 and they're so iconic. I don't feel strongly about any level in Bonanza. And I think that's because of the freedom and the level of destruction that you have in this game, which is a cool concept. But I think it really undermines the level design and makes each level just kind of feel like a big playground for you to destroy everything, which once again, I understand why a lot of people like that. Just not for me. Not for me as much as I was hoping it would be. Let's see how many dislikes does the stream have now that I said all that. Very interested to see Metroid and Pokemon rating. Oh god. Major FPS drops during boss fights. I didn't notice that too much except for the final boss. The final boss is unbelievable. Have they fixed that in any way? Hey, what's up, Unpredictable? We're ranking Switch 2 games right now. And I just put Bonanza in B tier. B for banana. You know. Nothing about the quality of the game. Okay. Next game. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first F tier. Pokemon Friends. I didn't even cover this game on YouTube. I'm sure I reacted to the trailer or something, but Pokemon Friends just not. I mean, it's just nothing. It's kind of like Welcome Tour in that like it's inoffensive, but also like it's free to play garbage. But then you have all these packs you can buy. I don't know, man. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of these Pokemon free to play games, and just they're not good. They're not good. I played this game on Switch. I was really excited when they announced it because it was like, oh, they're putting one of these on console again. It's been a while. I think the last one before this was either Unites or Cafe Remix. And then I played this, and like we later found out it's like a reskin of some Chinese mobile game, isn't it, or something? Like it's literally a reskin. This game sucks. There's not much to say on it other than that it just sucks. Nishquick, I'm not rating Xenoblade X. That's like the one game on this list I'm not going to rate because I didn't fully play it. I you know, it probably would be up here though. You know, you're right. So I'll just leave it for you. No. Yeah, Friends is not good. Do not play Pokemon Friends. Don't even take the time to download it even though it's free. Don't even bother. It's just not worth it. Play chapter 13, brother. I'm just not even anywhere near chapter 13. I played that game for like 10 hours maybe. Dragon Drive about to clear. You know what? This is actually so interesting. We're about to go on like the worst streak of games Nintendo's released in a while because Jamboree TV is also F tier. It's above Pokemon Friends, but Jamboree TV is so annoying to me. You have this, you add some camera mini games and some mouse com mini games to Jamboree, and like that's cool, but then none of them are very fun, especially the camera stuff. The camera stuff is really bad. The mouse con mini games are fine. Like I like, you know, the one where you sort mail or whatever. Like that's cute. That's fine. You probably could have done that with just regular controls. What annoys me so much about Jamboree TV is the fact that they made it like a separate entity within Jamboree. So you load up the game, you have two menus, and the whole game is split into two now. And there's like different online queues for both of them. And it's just like, what happened? Yeah, you can ride on the roller coaster. The microphone mini games are terrible, as you mentioned, Chance. The microphone mini games suck. Like, this could have been awesome. This could have been such a slam dunk. And then there was also the stuff with like, I think they might have later gone back and fixed it a little bit, but they didn't upgrade the main Jamboree mode, like in terms of resolution, right? Wasn't that like a whole thing? So they added like a whole separate game on top of it, like a leech, and only that got the upgrades, and they like want you to play that, but then you can still play the old version. It was especially frustrating for me because I was like 100%ing it. I was doing all the challenges and everything. And then Jamboree TV is like this one separate thing, so it didn't even have any achievements or anything. It's just like it's a weird like little growth on top of Jamboree. I don't know, man. I think that is the worst Switch 2 edition they've done by far. Yeah, I didn't like that. They patched the resolution boost to the old version later. I mean, that's something, I guess. Yeah, it's like with the Switch 2 editions, I mean, this was our first one that added content. So I guess it kind of painted a bad picture to begin with. But like by putting that art on it that you can see right there, you think, oh, this is going to be like Bowser's Fury or like a Sonic Shadow Generation situation. And they added like 10 mini games. Where are the new boards? You know, where are the new characters? Doubler transferred Pokemon from Yellow to Silver to Ruby using Poke Transfer to Game Boy. Now you gotta transfer. Now you gotta beat Diamond so you can transfer them to Ruby to Diamond then to Home. That's awesome. I love like the daisy chaining of like all the transferring you can do with the Pokemon games. Next up we have Dragon Drive. Now, I think did I do a review of Dragon Drive? I definitely talked about it when I did my my preview in April. I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. I think this is also a very bad game. I would say probably better than Pokemon Friends. Yeah, because Pokemon Friends just is stupid. Dragon Drive like actually has some intent in it. Like they tried, but it's the fact that they tried that almost makes it worse. You know, the controls of this game not good, really not fun to control. But even looking past that, like, okay, it's a $20 eShop game, it's inoffensive, whatever. I'm not like angry about Dragon Drive. I'm not like going on a rant on Twitter, but I guess the frustrating thing with this is like it could have been so much more. You know, we get our new IP with the Wii with Splatoon. We get our new IP with Switch with ARMS, and I love both of those games. And then here comes Dragon Drive, and it just feels so lifeless. You know, where's the color? Where's the fun? The online basketball mode, not the best. Controlling it, like I said, not the best. I will say, I did get some enjoyment out of the little challenges of if you're in the park and you're doing them for the medals or whatever, like the times where it's like, you have to race around the cones and not hit them to beat the challenge or whatever. Like there was some enjoyment had in this game. I would say a very, very little amount, but overall, in terms of like a new Nintendo release, I think you have to go back very far to find a game that I would say, at least for me personally, is worse than Dragon Drive. I don't even know if I would put Amiibo Festival below it. I think Dragon Drive is really bad. At the end of the day, just an eShop title. I don't think this like impacts Nintendo's 2025 that heavily. Honestly, like it's low stakes still, but that doesn't excuse it from being bad. Like it's still a bad game. Lazy Muffin, there should be a link in the description, I want to say. If Audie's still in chat, Audie, if you could post it, maybe. I'm not sure if you're still here. Because I don't think I have it on hand. But yeah, Dragon Drive, not a fan. Really not a fan of Dragon Drive. After that, we had another Switch 2 edition. We were in a little bit of a drought after Bonanza, where you had Pokemon Friends, Jamboree TV, and Dragon's Drive, and then also Forgotten Lands. However, thankfully, I actually just played Forgotten Lands very recently, specifically the Starcross World content. I love Forgotten Land when it came out back in 2022, and I think this is out of these two anyway, by far the better Switch 2 edition. The content here is actually pretty cool. Nothing groundbreaking, I wasn't like moved by it or anything, but it was fun. Me and Olivia played through it co-op the other day. I still haven't done the like true arena that they added, but if we're ranking it inclusive of Forgotten Land itself and it looking way prettier now, higher resolution, it would be like here for me. Or maybe even here. I think Forgotten Land is truly a fantastic game. Like one of my favorite 3D platformers of all time. However, I want to rank this more on the new content side of things. And Starcross World, while it was good, I feel like they could have done more. So I don't know, low B, probably high C, Once again, it's just like a lot of what Nintendo put out this year kind of just feels low stakes, low. I don't want to say low effort, but like just Starcross World, high C. It's probably fair. Something that was kind of frustrating playing through it with Olivia. I don't remember this from the base game, but I feel like there were so many times where I got into a mouthful mode playing as Kirby, and then nothing. She couldn't do anything, like playing co-op. I don't know, this game isn't really designed for co-op, but I don't remember that happening so frequently in the base game. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like the co-op experience was a lot better for the base Forgotten Land versus Starcross World. Um, so that was kind of annoying. But also the way the levels are, you're just going on like this alternate path. Like it's pretty, it's cool, but for $20, that feels a little steep for what it is. Now, if we're talking the entire package, yes, I highly recommend Forgotten Land plus Starcross World. If you have not played it, S tier game. I love this game. But just Starcross World, I would say, is like here, probably, maybe even below Country Returns. $20, it's like 2 to 3 hours of content. Not amazing. But still a lot better than Jamboree TV. Certainly. Hopefully Bella Bell Park next year ends up being even better. Hopefully these Switch 2 editions that add new content get significantly better. Because so far, I would say they've been just kind of like either bad or just fine. You know, inoffensive for Starcross World. Yeah, I think because they added the new mouthful modes, and that was like really the only new thing they added, there was more of a focus on it, so it felt like I was doing it more. Specifically the gear one where like you climb the walls. Like that's a cool gimmick, mouthful, or like the spring or whatever, but I feel like the co-op part of Starcross World was, they didn't really think that through, to be honest. At least that's how it felt. What's next? I think we have a pretty big gap here. Yeah, Mario Galaxy. So to be fair, I didn't play through these on Switch 2. I played a little bit of each. I think I talked about it earlier. I think I played like maybe an hour of Galaxy 2 and like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour of Galaxy 1. It's Galaxy 1 and 2. I think Galaxy 1 a little overrated in general. I think Galaxy 2 is a better game. I haven't played either of them in full for a very long time. Galaxy, the last time I played it to completion was when 3D All-Stars came out. And Galaxy 2 I have not played in full in over a decade. If I was just rating the games on like their quality though, I mean, yeah, easily A tier. As ports though, I feel like these kind of came and went, which is weird. Like I know they're still just ports, but you would think ports of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 would be a way bigger deal, and it didn't feel like that. You know? This game just kind of came out and came and went. That's not like nothing against the quality of the game though. I guess I would put it in A tier just for what it is, right? I'm happy they're on Switch 2 and on Switch 1. I'm happy I have a way to play Galaxy 2 forever now. But also nothing crazy, you know? It's just Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. You're going to rank every game you play this year. Not today. That might be a separate stream, though, towards the end of the year. I am going to be away for about a week here. I'm visiting family for the first time in a while, so I'm going to be gone from like next Monday to the following Monday or something like that. Not sure the exact dates. But then once we get back, we'll be back until the swing of things with content streams, all that fun stuff. It has to be B or C. You put Galaxy 1 and 2 and B or C. I don't know. Maybe I'm not being too consistent with my ranking of ports. If I'm putting these in S tier. But also these did a lot to like the performance of the games. And I definitely like Galaxy 1 and 2 more than Bonanza. You know? I'd put it in A. I'll put it below Mario Kart World though, because it is just a remaster. Next up, we have Pokemon. So I'm sitting it here right now while I talk. I'm not putting it in B. Maybe we'll talk it through. I like Legends EA a lot more than most people, I think. I was very positive on this game when it came out. I still am very positive, maybe a little less so than when I first played it. But I think Legends EA is awesome. Definitely has a lot of issues. I think Lumiose is a miss overall. Like the side quest and everything you're doing in Lumiose, running around Lumiose is fun, but it all does kind of look the same, right? Not going to sit here and say the game's super ugly or anything. I think it looks fine. But definitely issues, pacing issues with like doing the Rogue Megas over and over. But having another Legends game, open kind of freeform catching, having the real-time combat, I think, was really refreshing for Pokemon. Yeah, maybe this is B. But maybe it's right above Bonanza. Like, when I do my top 10 games of the year list, Legends EA is going to be above Bonanza. I had more fun with Legends EA than Bonanza, 100%, like, without a doubt. I would even go as far I think I had more fun with it than Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is clearly a higher quality game, though, so it feels weird putting it above that. It's hard to, like, rank these things with, like, just your personal taste, but also, objectivity. But, like, I had a lot of fun with Legends EA, so maybe it's A tier. But also I haven't played Mega Dimension yet, so maybe Mega Dimension would make me lower it. Personal taste. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the way. It'd probably be A tier then, honestly. Not S tier. Not S tier, certainly. That's reserved for the GOAT Legends Arceus and Black and White. But yeah, I would say A tier for Legends EA. Out of every Nintendo game I played this year, I think I enjoyed it the most. Not Breath of the Wild notwithstanding. But I think that just goes to the entire year feeling a little off. Like, I think this entire year was like a little just not quite as good as we hoped, right? Like, I was hoping the first Switch 2 Pokemon game was going to be like the big amazing Pokemon game that was going to be the best Pokemon game ever. And the reality is it's really great in my opinion, but it's not quite as good as Arceus. Mario Kart World, obviously not exactly what we wanted, but still really good. Bonanza, for most people, would be S tier, but for me, not quite. I might enjoy Mega Dimension. I'm just not super into all this roguelike DLC they've been doing. You know, I've not been into it. I did buy it though. I will play it eventually. Maybe I'll take my Switch with me when I visit family. I'll play it on the plane. Finally, I've just heard a lot of people say it's very grindy and kind of repetitive, and I'm worried about that. But I do need to check it out. Okay. Next up, we have Hyrule Warriors. Metroid Jones in chat just talking about me putting an S tier. So I love Warriors games. I've become even more in love with them over the past year. I would absolutely at least put it here. The question then becomes, is it better than Legends EA? Did I enjoy it more than Legends EA? I think, is it a better game than Legends EA? Probably. However, I think Age of Imprisonment is just so good. Like, it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun, dude. I started getting more into Warriors games, I guess starting with the Nintendo Warriors stuff, but like even when I was a kid, I played Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires with my brother or whatever. And then this year, Dynasty Warriors Origins. The thing is, I actually think Dynasty Warriors Origins is better than Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. But Age of Imprisonment, like, maybe it's because I didn't have the highest expectations going into it because I was so burnt on Age of Calamity that my perception of the game is higher because it actually ended up delivering. You know? Age of Calamity was so disappointing to me. And then Three Hopes obviously came out, and that, I mean, Three Hopes is god tier. Three Hopes is god tier. I think Three Hopes is still better than Age of Imprisonment. And then Age of Imprisonment comes out. I had low expectations for it. I didn't really want another tie-in specifically with the Breath of the Wild characters. But then also, like, ending this era of Zelda with this game, it feels like the perfect, like, final send-off with all these characters. We finally get to see more of Rauru and a little bit of Sonya, not too much. There's still definitely some stuff to be desired in terms of the roster, I think, with Ganondorf. But I mean, it's definitely up here. I would say it's a toss between these two, for sure. Someone said earlier that Age of Imprisonment is maybe the most consistent game they released this year. I 100% agree with that. Like, if you don't like Warriors games, that's fine. It's not for you then. But if you like Warriors games, this game, the movesets, dude. Minoru's moveset in this game is so much fun when she goes in like the big ultra hand construct thing that you make and she just starts rolling over enemies, dude. It's so cool. Yeah. Oh god. I just know, like, I'm gonna post this on Twitter after and people are gonna, like, their eyes are gonna be twitching. Like, bro put Hyrule Warriors above Mario Kart. I did not get an analog 3D, the doubler. I did not. It's cool. I don't have that many N64 games, honestly, like physical. And also, like, if I'm gonna play them, I mean, most of what I care about is on NSO at this point. You got Mario 64, you got your Banjo. It's really all you need. Yeah, Legends EA is awesome. There's definitely stuff to criticize, but I just had a really good time with that. The story we didn't really talk about the story too much, but like the story in that game is definitely one of the better stories in a Pokemon game. And also as a huge X and Y fan, like finally getting a lot of the stuff resolved or at least continued with AZ and just, Lumiose, like that's nice. I was really happy to finally have that because we never got Z. We were robbed of some sort of like follow-up Kalos game. And then while this doesn't fully scratch that itch because it's not Kalos, it's Lumiose, um I was very happy to see that happen. See the Gen 6 Pokemon get some love like they deserve. My goat Gen 6 starters. Yeah, I agree, dude. Having the N64 controller is so important to the experience with uh to the experience with N64 games. That's one of the that and the GameCube controller are the only NSO controllers I whip out. Like if I'm playing an NES or an SES or SNES game, I'm not getting out those controllers. But for N64 and GameCube, you got to do it. Um, Connor, um, I would put Kirby Air Riders in low B. I respect that Sakurai made another Kirby Air Ride game, and in terms of really fleshing out Kirby Air Ride, I think he did a fantastic job. However, I've learned that I just don't think I like Kirby Air Ride that much. I'm happy it exists. It's cool that it got a sequel. Like that's one of those like cool Nintendo fan things of like, oh, we got to see what a Kirby Air Ride is. Like that's really cool. But I feel no desire to go back to this game or even 100% it. Which even Bonanza, I did 100% Bonanza, right? Like I had a lot of fun with Bonanza, even with my issues with it. But Kirby Air Rider's like, it's not that like I don't like the gameplay. Air Ride I think is kind of boring. Road Trip I think is really boring. City Trial is the main event, and City Trial is a lot of fun. But how much do I really need to get out of City Trial? Like I played City Trial all weekend, the weekend that game came out, and then I was like, okay. Me and my friends, we had our fun with it, and none of them have played it since. I haven't played it since, and we're like good with that. And there's nothing wrong with it being a B tier game. Like I had a good time with Air Riders, but it's not a game I really feel a desire to go back to or revisit. I'm not gonna look super fondly on it, in terms of like Nintendo's overall years of the Switch era, Switch 2 era. Like when we talk about 2025 launch year of Switch 2, yeah, Kirby Air Riders will come up, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I had fun with that. I guess maybe similar to Arms, although I actually got way more out of Arms than Kirby Air Riders. I think what this game was missing is some sort of like leveling system or like a ranking system for City Trial, something more than just the achievement board. Because when you're doing the challenges, you don't even need to go for them. They just pop up. You do all of them over the course of a weekend, and you have most everything done. And then it gets a little bit more specific, but it's not rewarding. You're just doing matches. You're getting challenges for stuff you didn't even know was a challenge. Um, but it's cool. I'm glad it exists. But I definitely got way more out of Mario Kart World personally. Road Trip is so interesting with the cutscenes. I don't know about that. I don't want DLC, Connor. I'm content with this game being content complete on day one, and that's cool. Like that's another thing I really respect about it is like Sakurai's like, yeah, this is the full game. It's done. That's cool. I respect that. However, I do think it's a bad choice in terms of keeping that game alive and giving it a life. No one's gonna be playing this game in 6 months, dude. You're gonna have the diehard Kirby fans playing it, but like you can't have an online focused game without updates. That's not how we exist in 2025. I respect the decision. I wouldn't have done that. If there was DLC or updates for it, I probably still wouldn't even go back to it. But like, that is an odd choice. But it's cool that they release a content complete online game. We don't get too many of those anymore. Sakurai's got to get back to the Smash mines. I hope not. Well, I hope we just get a Switch 2 edition. I'm the Smash Ultimate Switch 2 edition guy. That's what I want to see. And then from there, I want him to do ideally Kid Icarus. But then uh, then just whatever he wants. Go to another Nintendo IP. Every game below Welcome Tour should be embarrassed. They probably are. Dragon Drive's out here crying. If Sakurai's working on Kid Icarus Uprisings, they just does the same thing. He adds an S to his last game in that franchise, and we just get an Uprising that's like everything that Uprising was, but also a new story mode and also new maps and like modes and stuff. Like, oh my god, that'll be so good. It'll be so good. Kid Icarus Uprising is like a 10 out of 10, but because it's on the 3DS, it's like a 7 out of 10. Like I'm left-handed, so like playing that game on 3DS, not the best. Really not the best. But I had so much fun with it, even despite that. Having that game with 2 sticks, even on Wii U, would have been bliss. So I really hope, even if we just get a remaster of Uprising in HD, like I'd be all in for that too. It just needs modern controls. Well, we're already at the end. Did I miss something? I feel like I'm missing something. So tired of hoping for a Kid Icarus Uprising port. Been like 10 years of me hoping. I don't think I fully started hoping until like the past couple years. And that's when I was like, okay, it's actually maybe starting to get time. We're winding down the Switch era. They've already done most of the IP. Like, what's next? I mean, we're gonna get another code. Like, we're gonna get a new Famicom Defensive Club. They got to do something with Kid Icarus soon, right? Console exclusive Hades 2. Nah, this is the Nintendo published list. We're skipping Hades 2 because I also haven't even played it that much anyway. I need to. I love Hades 1. I love Super Giant. I'm a Super Giant OG. Metroid Prime 4. Before I say my piece on Prime 4, which I mean, I already did my review. I'm sure most of you have seen it. Where would you guys rank Metroid Prime 4 on a tier list of like, you know, D through S or whatever? I'm curious what you all would put this at. Because I feel like there are so many people that are like in love with it, and they're like, "Oh, this is exactly what I wanted, another Metroid Prime game, A tier, S tier Metroid Prime game." A lot of people that are kind of disappointed put it in B, some people put it in C, some people would put it in F at the bottom below Pokemon Friends. I think that's too much. I think it's got to be somewhere in the middle. I personally would put it at high C. I would put it above Donkey Kong Country Returns. I'd put it below Kirby Air Riders. I think Metroid Prime 4 is okay, but as someone who does not love Prime to begin with, I think it's just more of Prime, but also it has a lot of really baffling design decisions. I'm really happy for the people that have been waiting for so long for it, and they really loved it, and like that's awesome. I'm so happy they got what they wanted. I think for me, coming into a new Prime game, as someone who loves 2D Metroid and as someone who especially loved Metroid Dread was so good. I wanted Retro to really modernize it in a way that I don't want to just say made it more actiony, because that's what Other M is, but something that would just kind of change it up a little bit, increase the pacing of it. And they try to do some new stuff here with Soul Valley and the desert and the bike. And I don't think that stuff is as bad as people are saying it is, but it's also not good either. The desert is just completely empty. It's just nothing. There's nothing to do there. And it's even funnier when you think about like there's just 6 shrines. there's just 6 shrines you do with some puzzles, and then you get some more green crystals, and it's like, why is this even in the game? It felt like they needed to have a new idea quota or something. They had to fill that out, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna make it open world. We're gonna have this hub, new idea quota achieved, and then they just did the bare minimum. The desert could be cool. The desert could have been great. I was optimistic when they revealed it, but they just didn't do enough with it. And then, I mean, people have really harped on the fact that you have to keep going back to Fury Green to get miles to install your upgrades, which is, you know, backtracking. That's a part of Metroid. That's a part of Metroid Prime especially. But there's a difference in backtracking in Metroid Prime 1 and backtracking across an empty desert just to go load into a zone and then talk to the guy and then leave again. Like that, those are different things. At least when you're backtracking through all the different areas in Prime 1, it's like, okay, there's like actual level design here. And this is just it's just a big empty desert. So I think it's C tier. I had some fun with it. I think it gets better as it goes on, actually, in terms of the linear areas, which I know is not the popular opinion. I know everybody loves Fury Green and Volt Forge, and Volt Forge certainly that's where the game peaks in terms of its artistic direction and music and everything. Ice Belt seems to be a fan favorite area in this game. I really did not like Ice Belt, specifically with the little hex codes that you have to get. I really did not like that at all, actually. But then, like halfway through Ice Belt, when you're like leaving through Flare Pool or Flame Pool, whatever it's called, into the mines, like I think those are the best sections of the game. I really actually did like that stuff. It's very linear, certainly, but meeting the different characters, the NPCs, not my issue with the game. I think the NPCs were actually pretty cool. Miles McKenzie having radio chatter while you're driving around, telling you exactly what to do, is certainly a bad thing, right? Like, there's a point in the game where you have to find a character in the desert, and it'll give you something, and before you even know that you need to do that, or you don't, you think like, okay, I need to go find something. As soon as you leave that area, Miles McKenzie's just like, yeah, go find this character. He'll give you what you need. It's like, bro, let me find it. It's weird because I think growing Metroid Prime as a series, or Metroid as a series, I think you got to have the Galactic Federation in there. I think that is good. I want to see them try it again. But I just feel like they need to implement it a little bit better. And then the ending, I don't want to get too much into spoilers here. I couldn't believe the ending of this game. I could not believe the ending. You build up these NPCs the whole game, and then the game ends the way it does. I couldn't believe it. To some people, maybe it was a good thing if you don't like the NPCs, but to me, as someone who was a little bit more, I was kind of into it. Maybe we had Bonanza at the beginning of the year, or middle of the year, at the beginning of the Switch 2 life cycle, being like one of the best endings of any Nintendo game ever, in my opinion. And then Prime 4, maybe one of the worst endings of any game I've ever played. The final boss was fine, I guess. But yeah, Prime 4 has its moments, certainly. There is some merit there. I was hoping for more, especially in terms of like modernizing the combat, speeding it up a little bit, and they just didn't do that. So yeah, I would say C tier. Maybe, honestly. Gotta put respect on the GOAT. Country Returns. It's below that, I think. Just a lot of baffling decisions. Like I'm playing the game and something happens, and I'm literally just sitting at my couch looking at the screen like, why did they do that? Like, why did they design the game that way? Like, that's not something I should be thinking while playing the game. But that being said, very happy for the people that love it. I was probably never going to love it to that extent to begin with, because I don't like Prime that much. I'm a 2D Metroid guy. So for the fans that do love it, I'm happy for you. But clearly, it's not quite what people wanted overall. I mean, just based on the fact that it's the lowest reviewed one, right? For me, beginning off the year with Xenoblade X Awesomeness, middle of the year with Donkey Kong Bonanza knocking it out of the park, and then Air Riders Insanity solid year. Yeah, like I think even with my issues with basically I think all these games have issues. Like, I never would have thought I'd put a Hyrule Warriors game towards the top of my list as like the best new game they released. It's a solid year, right? Like this is a good year. There's a lot of games. To the people saying like, oh, there's no games, that's what makes me scratch my head. You can have issues with the game, certainly, but like, this is all released this year. This is a good year in terms of quantity, certainly. The quality maybe could have been a little bit higher, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I want to do 2D Metroid. You'll get it soon. You'll get. I think Metroid 6 has a high likelihood of releasing next year. Super Metroid is perfect. I agree. I haven't played Super Metroid in so long. I replayed Zero Mission probably last year. That game's awesome. Dread, I've not played since it came out. That game, top tier. Fusion is probably my favorite. I don't know. It's between Fusion and Dread. But Super Metroid is also like, I mean, come on. Dude, I made a post the other day on Twitter, and people got mad at me because I didn't include Prime, and people thought I was like rage baiting, but I literally just put, I think I captioned it like, these are the 4 GOAT Metroid games, and I put Fusion, Zero Mission, Dread, and Super, and people were like so angry at me. Also, what's up, Beard Boy? We're skipping Xenoblade X because that's the one game I didn't play. play fully this year. Well, I guess I didn't fully do Galaxy either, but I've played those games so many times. Do you still like Prime 4 more than 1? Yeah, definitely. I think, like, level design-wise, Prime 1 is better. But in terms of, like, just my enjoyment of the game, having like, I like the NPCs, you know? I did enjoy Prime 4 overall more. But a lot of that might also be, like some of the music at the beginning of the game is so good. And then, like, Volt Forge is really beautiful. The atmosphere, I was really into. I would like to give Prime 1 another playthrough, though. The only time I played it is, well, I played it a little bit growing up, didn't fully ever play through, and then I played it fully for the first time with Remastered. I'd be curious to play it again now, having played Prime 4, you know? But I was never a huge fan anyway. This was a solid first year, but hopefully next year will be better. I mean, I wonder about that, right? What do we have announced for next year? we're spinning in circles here. But we have Animal Crossing Switch 2 Edition, whatever. That's kind of a non-release. 3.0 update's cool. Mario Tennis Fever, sports game. That's neat, I guess. I'm sure I'll really enjoy it, actually. Yoshi in the Book. Mario Wonder Starcross World Edition. You have Duskbloods. I'm very excited for that. Fire Emblem. I think I'm missing something. Oh, Pokopia. Like, there's a lot of stuff, but it is mostly like B tier or even C tier franchises, or like spin-offs of franchises. Tomodachi Life, Rhythm Heaven. Like, like a lot of stuff I'm really excited for. But I don't think for a lot of people Tomodachi Life, like, in terms of like the Nintendo discussion space, I don't know if like Tomodachi Life or Rhythm Heaven's gonna move the needle. I'm very excited for those games. I'm sure a lot of Nintendo fans are. But it's definitely missing like something big. And I think even bigger than, like, I'm predicting Luigi's Mansion 4 for next holiday. Bigger than that, right? Even Luigi's Mansion 4, like, that's still a Mario spinoff. But as people are saying in chat, yeah, I mean, we already know so much more for next year than we normally do going into the new year. Going into 2018, okay, so comparing it to 2017 Nintendo versus 2025 Nintendo, what did we know going into 2018 for the Switch? We didn't know about Mario Tennis. That was announced in January. We didn't know about Donkey Kong or Hyrule Warriors ports. We had Octopath announced. We had Kirby Star Allies announced. Is that it? Like, versus Switch 2, we have like 8 games announced for next year already. And 2 of those are Switch 1 games, to be fair, with Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven, but sure. Smash Bros. Was announced in March. In terms of like knowing what's coming out in a year before the year begins, this might be the most we've ever known for a Nintendo like year. We know so much. Plus, we have all the third-party stuff. It's a great time to be a Nintendo fan. You go on Twitter, you go in the YouTube comments. It's not quite the same. They're not thinking the same way. But like, objectively, if you list everything, it's like, oh my god, there's so much stuff coming out. Chat, I'm telling you, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on Pragmata. We just mentioned 4 Gen 10. Oh yeah, Gen 10 Pokemon. I mean, that's huge, but also Pokemon kind of still its own thing. I understand some people are not into it. Planet Robobot Switch 1, Dustbloods, Smash Switch 2 Edition. Yeah, I mean, I think Smash Switch 2 Edition could definitely be a holiday thing next year. I predict Luigi's Mansion 4. Like, I think most people would agree that's coming out next year. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope Next Level's doing something completely different. And then we get Luigi's Mansion 4 later. I love Luigi's Mansion. I love it so much. But I would love if they did something, not Punch Out, certainly. not Punch Out again. But like, do just something completely different. Do a Star Fox game, frankly. Do a Star Fox game. I'm not even a huge Star Fox guy. But it'd be great if they did something completely different and then go back to Luigi's Mansion later. Realistically, not going to happen because Luigi's Mansion is a cash cow and the movie. But Do we know when pre-orders for the Amiibo and physical go live? They're actually my Dan linked earlier to me privately. I think Amazon Japan has it up right now for the Amiibo, but I don't think pre-orders for the physical game have gone up. I was gonna look it up, but I don't want to accidentally leak my address on Amazon or anything. I think the game might have gone up. I don't think the Amiibo has. Planet Robobot for Switch 1 is never ever gonna happen. Connor? I hope you're wrong. I like Planet Robobot. And I'd like to play it again. New World of Steam still is technically a Nintendo exclusive, which is crazy. I bet when this game gets re-revealed, it's multi-platform. Unless Nintendo's doing something with it, but like Deca Police, Fantasy Life, these all ended up being multi-plat. So I think this ends up being multi-plat as well. Yeah, I should play. I need to check. Is the Pragmata demo? Is the demo different than the PAX demo? Because I played it at PAX. I can't remember. Oh God, why is it so big? Perfect. It's only a 15-minute demo. I do care about Triple Deluxe. Connor, I hope we get both. I do hope we get a double pack. This looks the same to me. It is different. It looks. Here I'm saying it looks the same, and then you're like, oh no, it is different. Okay. Well, because the demo I played, it was still like just in an environment like this. You're opening up some crates, you're fighting the robots, doing some platforming like this. It was still very similar. I didn't record it. I wish I had. God, what a time to be a Capcom fan, right? I can't believe like this game was announced 5 years ago, over 5 years ago. And it kind of became a meme at a certain point between me and my friends. I'm like, oh, Pragmata. When's Pragmata getting a trailer? And it just kept getting delayed and delayed. And then eventually it showed up and they showed gameplay. And it's like this weird, unique action puzzle game. And it looks so sick, dude. And it's not like the other recent new Capcom IP like Exoprimal or Kinotsugami, which I actually like both of those games. Exoprimal I beat. I put like 30 hours in Exoprimal. I really enjoyed it. But like you can tell this is clearly of a higher quality, right? Exoprimal, Kinotsugami, those felt lower scale, lower stakes. This feels like a big Capcom deal. I can't wait. Also, yeah, Mega Man Dual Override being announced. Finally getting a new Mega Man. Onimusha coming back. I still need to play that Onimusha 2 remaster that came out. I got to do that. Capcom cooking. Okami 2? I've never played Okami. That might be one of my bigger gaming sins. What are my biggest gaming sins? I haven't played Okami. I've never beaten Chrono Trigger. Earthbound. More modern stuff like Mass Effect I've never played, but I don't know. I don't think I'd be into it, honestly. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I would love Mass Effect. Websites are listing Lego Batman is fully on cart on Switch 2. Is that true? I thought I saw, wasn't there like I swear I saw a post from like Wario64 or something that was like, yeah, it's a key card. But like the box art isn't showing that or something. The Diana amiibo for Pragmata is 30 or 3,000 yen. Wow. What's that? Like 20 bucks? Just the crazy conversion. My chat window go. Yeah, Lego Batman looks cool. I don't know, like, how hyped I am for it. Skywalker Saga was good. I just, like, I don't know. It's like a 7. Good time. I'm not a huge Batman fan, I guess. A huge Mega Man fan, but 2027 feels so far away. Yeah, it's crazy that, it's crazy that they announced this game so early. What are we doing? You know? What what's happening here? It's a cool reveal, and it's cool to see Game Awards give a 2D Mega Man game this grand reveal. But it's just so funny. You see that, like, you see this, you're like, oh my god, it's gonna be the reinvention of Mega Man. It's gonna be 3D Mega Man. They're doing Mega Man Legends, new whole new series, and then it's just like 2D Mega Man, which, like, is really cool. Um, there's a handful of Mega Man, like the core series, I haven't played. I don't think I've played. I, I think I played. I think I've played 1 through 6. I think that's it. I never played 11. I definitely never played 8 or 7 or 8. I might have messed with 9 and 10. But before this comes out, I'll catch up. I've also never beaten a Mega Man X game. I played a lot of Mega Man X, like, when I was a kid, but I never beat him or beat it. So I need to do that. I know a lot of people prefer X. I don't know. I never got into it as much, but also I haven't played these games since I was like 10. But I love Mega Man 2 and 3. When I got, I guess I would have been a little bit older, like 14. When I got Mega Man 2 on 3DS Virtual Console, the good old days when I was 14, 10 years ago. I know I'm young. I played Mega Man 2 and 3 so much. Like, I would just play them over and over. Full playthroughs. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the Wii U Virtual Console promotion where, like, they released a game every week and it was like 5 cents. Looks like a stiffer Metroid. Well, it's not a Metroidvania or like a, you're not backtracking. It's just level based. Ooh, another gaming said. True game series, an entire series of games I've not really messed with that I know I will love so much is Castlevania. I've played Castlevania 1, I've played Simon's Quest, and that's it. I've never played Symphony of the Night or anything after that. I know I will love those games. So that's probably something I should do. Mega Man 2 was your first ever favorite game? 1999? Or 1991? Hell yeah. Need to play Symphony of the Night. I bought the Castlevania Requiem, I think it's called. It's that and Rondo of Blood, I think, on PSN. It was on sale for like $5 the other day. And I just added it to the cart. I bought it and I was like, okay, I gotta I gotta get on this. I gotta get on Castlevania now because I'm pretty confident we're getting a new Castlevania soon. I feel it. It's gotta be happening. Mega Man collections are super cheap right now after the Dual Override. Yeah, I actually I bought 11 because it was I think it was like 450 or something on PSN. I have it physically on Switch, but I was like, I just want to. I'll get it digitally on PSN. It's so cheap. I would like to next year at least play through Mega Man 1 through 11. Like, just play through them all in order because I haven't played 1 through 6 in so long. It's not like they're long games or anything. I mean, I can probably do 3 in a day. You know, what's the consensus on 11? Do people like 11? Do people like this game that much? Wow. Whoa. Okay, so when they announced Dual Override, I was like, oh, it just looks like Mega Man 11. Oh my god, no, it doesn't. Holy crap, this looks way better. Did Mega Man 11 really look like that? That's crazy. Okay. Shout out Mega Man Dual Override. I mean, it's releasing on the same platforms. It's coming to Switch and PS4. Like, this doesn't look bad, but like Dual Override looks way better. Huh. Wait, you can steal boss weapons in this one? I didn't know that. Is that like a new Mega Man gimmick for this one? That was a new idea. Trolling. I plan on getting the Resident Evil Generation Pack for physical copies of RE7, 8, and 9. I am. I'm unwell, Lazy Muffin. I'm unwell because I have it pre-ordered on Switch. I have that physical pre-ordered. I also have 9 pre-ordered on PS5. Because like having, God, I hate Capcom. I love Capcom so much. They're my go-to for 2026. 2025 was the year of Koei Tecmo. 2026, I'm calling it right now, is the year of Capcom. I really wish 7 and 8 weren't releasing on the same day as 9 on Switch 2. Because I would love to replay those games on Switch 2 leading up to 9 and still play 9 on PS5. Don't get me wrong. But releasing them all on the same day. I get it, they're doing the cool trilogy pack. It's a great deal. $90 for all 3 of them. That's awesome. I would have liked to play 7 and 8 before. Like replay them on Switch before. But yeah, I'm getting that and 9. Excuse me, on PS5. You can choose any level of Mega Man 11 in any order. That's crazy. That's a first. That's a new one. What else is coming out? Let's go to the Nintendo YouTube channel. What's going on over there? We like accomplished the goal for the stream, chat. The recapping the year and ranking all the games. Now we can just kind of mess around for a little bit longer if you want, or we can just leave. If you guys are sick of me, I can just leave. I did pre-order the 9 Pro Controller. I got to get the first exclusive Pro Controller. Or limited edition Pro Controller. Pre-ordered that thing immediately. I cannot believe they're doing a Resident Evil Pro Controller. We're getting a Grace Ashcroft amiibo. What a wonderful time. What a wonderful time to be a Capcom Nintendo fan. Have you heard that Nintendo announced Nintendo was working on additional sizes for game cards? Yeah, it was, and then they accidentally leaked it. And then they deleted the post because they weren't supposed to say that, which is funny. Has anybody in the chat played the demo for 7 Remake? I think someone asked about it earlier. I don't know if I responded. But the demo for this game is really good. Obviously, I played it on PS5, PS4 and PS5, and then I played the demo for this, and it is very impressive. It's 30 FPS, I believe, so it's not 60. But this is a very impressive port. I don't know if I'll do like a full playthrough again, because I still need to play Rebirth. That's something I got to do next year. Like early next year, I got to finally sit down and play through Rebirth. But what I played at the demo, like it's a really impressive port. Maybe the best looking Switch 2 game, to be honest. It's really impressive stuff. Hopefully Rebirth they manage to get running as well. I know it's open world a little bit, but it might be a little bit harder. Should have left it unsubscribed as soon as you put Dragon Drive in F tier. Oh, I'm curious. So I doubt anybody here is watching this on YouTube Shorts. You probably didn't even know that was an option. But I'm not going to show it. But like on my YouTube control panel, they gave me the option to just stream it as a YouTube short as well. And I clicked on that, but I'm looking at the feed and it's just, you can't even see me. It's just like it's just the middle of the screen. So I don't know what that's about. But apparently I'm streaming on YouTube Shorts also. I don't know if it's like some new beta feature that I got on my account or something. I don't know. I doubt anybody in here. Right, exactly. Well, so sometimes when I scroll shorts, I try not to do it because it's just a waste of time. But sometimes, every once in a while, some random stream will pop up, like somebody streaming some random game, and it'll pop up as a vertical stream. And I don't know how that works, to be honest. I would like to figure out how to do it properly, because I know when they added like vertical streaming to YouTube, it was like a really big thing, like in terms of getting viewers or whatever. But they crop it weird. Yeah, I think you might have to do it like through a proper service. Like you gotta do it through like a restreaming website and then stream it technically to 2 different streams, and have a different layout. I don't know. I don't really care that much, to be honest. Like, if anybody joins through the short stream, like that's fine, but it's just a bonus. All right, see you later, Metroid Jones. Thanks for hanging out. Fun chatting. Thanks for not murdering me for my Metroid Prime 4 takes. Any news on Phasmophobia getting a physical? I don't think so. This is the one where you talk to ghosts, right? Like you just talk to them. It's kind of like a friend slop kind of game, right? Or is it single player? 25 million copies. It's got to be multiplayer, right? I'm so like removed from that PC zone, you know? Like I don't know anything about content warning or Lethal Company or any of these games. I'm so completely out of the loop on all of that. You haven't played Prime 4 yet, Jones? That's crazy. I hope you enjoy it. I genuinely, I hope you have that Prime experience you're hoping for. Phasmophobia huge for multiplayer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Your wife has it wrapped in the other room. That's awesome, though. Oh, what else we got? What else we got going on? TMNT just came to Switch. Only 3 weeks. Oh, true. I guess, God, this month's flying by, but also, like, it's the 19th. It feels like Metroid Prime 4 came out so long ago. I feel like that came out so long ago. But it was only like 2 weeks. I feel that's a lifetime ago at this point. You know? Layers of Fear Switch 2. Oh, yeah. I asked for a code for that. They didn't get back to me. I never played these games. But I'm getting more into Bloober stuff. Oh, someone already uploaded the full game? Is that the full game? Just some gameplay? Thanksgiving, I think, yeah, Thanksgiving was like a couple days ago. Not yesterday. It was like 3 days ago. Yeah, just a little first-person horror game. Respectable. Do people like Layers of Fear? Well, it's weird. They did like the Lords of the Fallen thing. There was like Layers of Fear, and then they just made another game called Layers of Fear, and then yeah, they renamed this one Legacy. For someone too disappointed by the Switch 2, should I sell it now or should I give it another 3 months? It depends on what kind of games you're waiting for. What do you want out of it? I guess is the biggest question. Animal Crossing? Well, the 3.0, well, I guess do you still have your Switch 1? Because the 3.0 update is coming to Switch 1 as well. Oh, Assassin's Creed, my bad. And then Tomodachi Life, if I would assume you're interested in that if you're getting or if you like Animal Crossing, that's also coming to Switch 1. Bacopia, Switch 2 exclusive though. I'm not sure if that interests you, but it's kind of a similar vibe. Honestly, unless you're pressed for the money, I would say just keep it. Eventually, you'll get your new Animal Crossing. You're gonna get more cozy games or games like Animal Crossing. not the vomit emoji for Assassin's Creed. Unless, I mean, it just depends on, I guess, if you're dying for that Animal Crossing Switch 2 patch. Like, you don't really need your Switch 1 or Switch 2 for that. You could play it on Switch 1. Yeah, Bacopia does look fun. play only Animal Crossing. I play other cozy games on PS5 or PC. Are you interested in Pokopia? Because Pokopia Switch 2 exclusive. That might be the reason to keep your Switch 2 right there. Do any of us think 3D Mario is happening next year? Let me go full screen again, by the way. Do any of us think 3D Mario is happening next year? I don't think so. I think we're getting Luigi's Mansion 4 and probably like Monolith Sauce game next year. And maybe like, Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition. Well, to be fair, I think everybody expected a new Animal Crossing in 2026. And then they announced the Switch 2 version. And yeah, that kind of pushes those plans quite a bit. Like I honestly would not expect a new Animal Crossing game until like 2028 now at the earliest. Maybe 2027, but I don't know. It's a ways off now. Which is it's crazy because like if you asked me 6 months ago, is Animal Crossing getting a new Switch 2 game, like not an upgrade, just a new game entirely, I would have thought for sure that the answer is yes in 2026. But also, like, business-wise, I don't blame them for just doing an update. Dude, they're gonna sell so many copies of that game again. People are gonna rebuy their Switch 1s or buy a Switch 2 for the first time after selling the Switch 1 after COVID or something and just buy it again. They're certainly milking it, Curious what the yearly Zelda will be. Yeah, that's a good question. They crammed a lot into this year. They didn't need to, but they put the Zelda Switch 2 editions and Hyrule Warriors this year. I mean, I think a lot of people think it'll be Ocarina of Time, right? I think Ocarina of Time is happening. I just don't know if it's happening next year. That feels a little later to me. Thinking Twilight Princess will get a new release. I feel like they did Wind Waker on Switch Online. I think we'll just get Twilight Princess added. And then like a full remake of Ocarina could be next year. Obviously, we just got Echoes of Wisdom last year, so it's too soon for that. Like it's too soon for a 2D game, I would say. Even a remake of a 2D game, it's too soon for. We just got a Warriors game. So it's either Ocarina of Time remake, full remake, or some other new spinoff, entirely new spinoff type, We already have all the 3D Zeldas like remastered, so if they want to do another one of those, it has to be Ocarina remake pretty much. Twilight Princess maybe, but since they did Wind Waker, I'm just not confident in that. Do you think the almost yearly re-releases or announcements of Xenoblade will slow down starting next year unless they can work a deal with Namco for Saga? I think it might really slow down. Yes. I guess it depends on what Monolith Soft is doing, right? Like, their next game might not be Xenoblade. And if that's the case, it's definitely going to slow down. Because we've had, like, basically the entire Switch generation we were eating for Xenoblade. There were some years where not much happened. But I don't know where Ocarina of Time remake rumor came from. The rumor itself isn't real. There's no rumor. People keep saying it's a rumor. There's no rumor. Nothing's happened that like actually suggests it's happening. I think it's more like informed speculation. Like I made videos back in like 2021 saying after Tears of the Kingdom, I think they will start remaking the older games again, starting with Ocarina, then eventually Majora's Mask. I just think they remastered all the 3D games. They've remade a lot of the 2D games. There's not really they can do the Oracle games, they can do Minish Cap, I guess. A Link Between Worlds could be remade or even ported. But in terms of 3D Zelda, they got to introduce something new to the pool, They can't just release Skyward Sword again. They could release Twilight Princess, I guess. But I feel like if they're doing Twilight Princess, it can't just be Twilight Princess HD. It needs to be maybe not a full remake, but something. Some kind of Switch 2 edition for Xenoblade 2. Yeah. Yeah, I want updates for all of them. Xenoblade 2 definitely needs it the most. Honestly, listen, I love the Xenoblade talk. I love Xenoblade. I think well, I'm a Xenoblade 2 and 3 huge mega ultra fan. Like those are my top 2 Switch 2 games or Switch 1 games. Xenoblade 1 I think is great, but I don't love the gameplay as much, so that kind of bumps it down a lot. And I also think this is my craziest hot take. I think Xenoblade 1 has the weakest cast. I think that's I think that's the opposite of how most people feel. But I do want updates for all the games. A Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade would be awesome. Xenoblade 2, I should say. What I really want, a game that I truly think needs it and would benefit so much. I mean, this is basically to the tier that like Xenoblade Definitive Edition was, so I don't even know if it would be a Switch 2 edition. Three Houses needs something done to it. that game is so ugly. It's so ugly. They need to like remake that game. Just remake the graphics completely. Just completely redo it. Especially after looking at Fortunes of Weave, which looks so good. Three Houses is just so crusty, dude. We need another visual overhaul of that. Haven't tried the other Xenoblade games because I found the combat in one boring. Should I give them a try yet? Well, you might be on a similar path that I was. I tried Xenoblade 1 back when it came out, and I did not like the combat at all. And then Xenoblade 2 came out, and I love the combat. So I would say if you're interested, it's worth trying out Xenoblade 2 or 3. 3 has the best combat. 2s can be a little confusing, but I would say, I mean, Xenoblade 1 and X have the worst combat. Like, for sure. So I would say if you're like really interested and you want to give it a go, I would say try 2 or 3. Probably 2. Play 2, understand it, learn it, love it. Go back to 1 and then play 3. It would be my suggestion. Do X whatever you want, I guess, in that mix. Yeah, I mean, Three Houses looks unbelievably bad. I remember when they announced that game, I was like, whoa. Even like 2018, it was kind of crazy. Xenoblade 3 is such an incredible game. Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that we got Xenoblade 2, then we got Torna, which, like, arguably there are some aspects of Torna that are even better than Xenoblade 2 like base game. The music in Torna is so good, the main battle theme, and even how they switched up the combat a little bit, like it's chef's kiss, perfect. And then Xenoblade 3, God tier, and then Future Redeemed, even better. Like, oh my goodness, I love it so much. All right, Lazy Muffin, thanks for hanging out. I'm probably gonna end off the stream here soon too. Appreciate you. Do you have a physical copy of Torna? I do. I don't know. This might destroy the stream layout. There's a big black bar now. Yeah, I have like a shrine for each game. I have Xenoblade 1 there with a special edition, Xenoblade 2 with a special edition for that, and then Xenoblade 3. I have my Riku plush that my friend made. It's a fan. Xenoblade X shelf, even though I haven't played it, I'm a fraud. Got some other like Xenosaga stuff there. It's very blurry, but I do. I got a nice little Xenoblade collection going. All right, Braden, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. The Three Houses fruit texture. That's so funny. That's so real, though. That's so real. Oh, yeah, nice shrine. Oh, yeah, even actually below it, move out of the way, I also have like a little Fire Emblem setup. So you got Echoes there, my favorite Fire Emblem game. The 30th anniversary thing, Engage, you can kind of see there. Three Hopes, the European special edition. Unfortunately, I might have to dismantle that soon. I'm kind of running out of space. I'd probably get rid of the Fire Emblem stuff first, and then... Or honestly, maybe I'll just put... the issue is, I have like... PS2 probably doesn't need to be out, right? I can just box up PS2. Keep the Xenoblade shelf. That might be the move. All right, chat. I think it's about time we wrap up here. Been streaming for 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Longer stream than normal. I do plan on streaming more in 2026. Maybe one more this year. I'm going to be gone for a week, so I won't be able to stream then. But 2026, I plan on streaming a lot more. So if you want to see more streams, definitely. I mean, I'm sure anybody left in chat is still subscribed. But thank you all so much for hanging out. Some of the stuff from the stream might end up getting like kind of clipped out into videos. So we will see if that happens. You might see those pop up over the week. And until next time, people, bye-bye. Now here's the awkward thing. I never know, like, do I end the OBS broadcast? Do I end stream on the YouTube feed? I don't know.